Do I just make uncharacteristic eye contact?
Just direct eye contact. Good.
Welcome into Fantasy and Clean for like the 18th time tonight.
Oh my God! I'm so sorry, Amanda,
25th
our
time's
one
the
fan.
charm.
Yeah, it's been rough.
Been a
But I
fucking
think we're here
nightmare.
now.
Somebody else fucking tell us if we're not screaming right, but
Yeah.
I'm not going to
Amanda's
check it, though.
watching.
Yeah, thank
Yeah.
you, Amanda. Appreciate
So we
that.
are... We're not doing good so far. We've tried to start, I don't know, about 45 minutes ago now.
Let me fucking tell you, dude.
Right about
oh
there,
my
yeah.
God, dude. This
She
has
said,
been...
sounds fabulous.
Perfect.
Thank you.
Thank you.
Amanda, I love you. Thank you very much. I appreciate that. So this is Fantasy Unclean. This is the audio version where you can actually hear us.
Yeah.
Rather than being robots.
Yeah, you can see us and sound like robots if you want to watch the last couple of streams, or you can just see us and listen to us. This actually voice is normal. That's that like fucking distortion that you hear. That's just my speech impediment. But
Yep.
these guys sound right.
You know, I had one when I was a little kid.
Did you?
I couldn't say my S's or F's.
I couldn't say my S's. My oh God, no. Oh God. Oh, I think that was the old. I think that was the
Okay.
old screen.
Yeah, I was like,
Okay.
what just
No,
happened?
I couldn't see it. Okay, so let's get the list. I couldn't S's, Z's, R's, L's. Something there is another
CH.
CH is still the biggest problem. CH,
Yeah.
like especially when I get fucking pissed. Like watch me get pissed and call somebody a bitch. And it's like, oh God, it's so fucking embarrassing.
there's
I
a
lose
reason-
all momentum.
There's a reason why you use the word fuck so regularly.
Yes, fuck and cunt. You know why? Because I've never had a problem with those. Never had a problem. I should have been English or Australian.
So like sore finger would be or inger.
Yeah.
I couldn't say the shit.
Yeah.
So, getting into football,
Fuck. Might as well, I guess, right?
we
Yeah,
had
skip all the bullshit.
preseason, week 1.
Oh,
Sure
yeah, we had
was
the beginning
nice
of
to
football
see
this year.
some
Yeah.
football finally.
Yeah, we saw
Even
some.
if it was fake football.
Yeah, I mean, it was not. I mean, people were over exaggerating what they were seeing on the field because most of it was 2s and 3s. There was not a
Let's
ton of starters that
Yeah.
played.
Very clear about that. Do not make any fantasy decisions based on week 1 preseason.
Yeah,
Yeah.
they're talking about like the Dolphins, like, oh, they couldn't run the ball. They had no starting offensive line and no starting running backs.
Right.
Yeah.
Who fucking cares?
Right.
Well, and they said a lot of shit about like the Colts, who actually did have quite a few of their starters playing.
Yep.
Also, didn't have Jonathan Taylor, which completely changes the team.
Right.
And they said he's not going to play in the preseason.
Yeah, like why? Why?
Yeah.
Why would he?
Why
This
risk getting
is-
hurt?
This is fun. Just treat this as college ball. It doesn't matter. All we're doing is watching some football, and let's have fun with it, right? I mean,
Right.
My team is already starting off well. Shanahan's already pissed with the amount of injuries that the team has had so far.
Everyone is pissed with the amount of
it's
injuries
not-
you guys have had so far.
It,
Yeah.
It's not a Niner season without a hurt running back.
We currently have 12 players that are at least somewhat injured right now.
Oh my God.
Now,
Jesus.
given that could be some players that aren't even going to be on the team. Jimmy
But-
Ward, though,
and Elijah
Lord.
Mitchell are.
yeah, Jimmy Ward may miss week 1 already.
Yep.
So
What's going on with
awesome.
Eli though?
it sounds like he's got a slight hamstring issue.
Okay, so maybe it's that this one's just
I think
sort of a veteran.
Yeah, I
Let's
think
sit him
he's-
until.
Yeah, I think he'll be okay for week 1 still.
That's what I'm praying for with Rashad Penny. Is that this is more or less a.
Why, you have Walker now.
Yeah, sure do.
We did make a trade, by the way.
Well, at
Yeah, we
least
did.
you're not
That
the
was a fun trade. We
Rams.
should talk about that.
Yeah.
That
At
was a
least
really
you're not the
fun
Rams with both of their starting running backs.
Yeah, dude. Okay, so Cam Akers and Darrell Henderson have both.
1 and 2 are dealing with soft tissue.
Soft
issues.
tissue issue, yeah.
Which, by the way, if you're paying attention, then soft tissue is the sort of thing that will come up again and again and again throughout the season. So
Yeah,
that's
it's
the
never
concern
a
with
good
that.
thing to have at the beginning of the season.
Right, somebody who has I don't know, somebody who has cramps. You know, the second starting center for Kansas City. Oh no, Tampa Bay.
Tampa Bay.
He got carted off the field, but it was cramps, not an actual, not a real injury. Right? I mean,
Speaking of sinners, though, the Browns one.
oh yeah,
He's
yeah.
done.
He's done. And the backup, I just saw a sleeper come through. Sleeper alert. 1 second. Their rookie.
Sleeper, by the way, we were going to get into this here very soon, but Sleeper is the tits.
Oh,
It's the
Sleeper
tits
is the
wiki.
best as far as whether you use the platform or not. You should at least log into it so you can get the fantasy or the news alerts,
Indeed.
because you will get the news alerts about 45 minutes before ESPN news alerts.
Yep.
I can't find the alert now, but it was somewhere. Their Browns rookie center, which was, I think, the one taking place, is now possibly out for the season with a Achilles or knee injury
Awesome.
in practice today.
Awesome. Zach Wilson went down in week 1. Originally, people were thinking that it was an ACL, but when you actually looked at the second replay from a different angle, he basically slammed his knees together when he was trying to cut. And so
it was a weird little injury. I mean, he was limping off the field. I wouldn't be too concerned about him long term. There is some talk about Jimmy Garoppolo.
Oh yeah, rookie Dawson
Deaton,
tears ACL.
He's the third string, so he was the backup to the guy who's now starting. So now they have no backup center.
So this is the center for the Browns. The backup center for the Browns.
Yeah, the starter and the backup both tore ACLs.
That sucks.
Yeah.
That sucks. But you know what? That's what happens when you have to touch towels from Deshaun Watson. Who, by the way, sucked this weekend.
Yeah.
That was really fun to watch. I mean, just a little bit of schadenfreude.
Where is the videos of berating him for throwing that fucking errant pass, but in a game?
1 for 7.
1 for 7.
1 for 7. Again, we're not reading too much into, look, if you're
But you would hope that the guy you just paid $230 million for would at least connect more than one pass.
Yeah, even if your starting wide receivers aren't out there, which I assume they're not, but they might be.
Well, see, what the issue is that he's focused on football. They should have some type of hologram of a masseuse, a masseuse as they're running, because he hit that shot with his dick from 15 feet.
Right.
I have to give the Jag fans some credit here, though.
Oh yeah,
What did they do?
Did you hear what they were yelling the
No.
entire time Deshaun Watson was on the field?
No.
During that errant pass where he
Yeah.
threw out to the left and it just landed in the middle of nobody.
Yeah.
Jags fans are yelling, chanting over and over again, "You sick fuck. You sick fuck. You sick fuck."
just legendary.
The entire time he was on the field. And so that's just amazing. Thank you,
my
Jags
gosh.
fans. You guys actually did something
Oh my
productive.
God,
Well,
Jacksonville finally coming through. You know what I mean? After I don't know,
Weren't they
250
chanting,
years of being a city.
Weren't they chanting clown last year with
Clown Town, yeah.
Clown Town because of Urban Meyer?
Yeah.
Yeah.
You know what? Honestly, maybe it's just that, Linda from Bob's Burgers, Linda Belcher, they're just good at chanting.
Yeah.
Maybe they're just the guys
yeah.
that are good at chanting. So,
Best cheerleaders in the game.
best cheerleaders in the game. You know what? And if you're from Jacksonville, you got to be good at something.
Yeah.
Might as well be cheerleading because
Yeah.
it's not, football.
Because your team's only good in London.
Right.
That's true. You sound like you're from London. So that was fun watching Deshaun Watson go 1 for 7 and play poorly. Sorry, pop filter there. Play poorly. I look again. Preseason, I'm not too worried about it from a fantasy perspective, but
Nope.
we are. In one of our leagues, on our dynasty, we're not putting this rule in because it's dynasty, right? It's a little bit rude to put this rule into place for a dynasty.
Because he was drafted before.
Right, exactly. But in our redraft leagues and our keeper leagues, we are doing a bench Watson sort of mentality. Fuck that guy. You know what I mean?
He won't be on any rosters this year. For
Nope.
our
Yeah,
leagues.
so if you've got him, you can't use him. In Dynasty, that's the only exception. We decided that we would actually be more proactive than the NFL, and we would just say, fuck it, you're benched. You're a terrible human being, and we don't want you
So
to be
if he
around
does
anymore.
play any time this year,
He is
will
ineligible.
not, he will not be playing in our leagues.
We got group consensus, on that. So
nobody argued it.
We can't get agreement on anything in this league, but we got unanimous agreement on that.
Yeah.
So that was pretty good. I'm pretty proud of our team for that, our league for that. We didn't ask it in our Dynasty league, though, because Dynasty is so long-term. So, they've been building out to have Deshaun Watson.
Well, yeah, because we're in our 4th year now, so
And he sat all year last year.
and somebody drafted him when he was peak Deshaun Watson
4 years ago.
Yeah.
I think we're in the third year.
third year, I think,
Okay,
but that's
third year.
okay. So,
But
so
still-
the point is
So,
that
yeah.
that we don't want to punish that person for his errant cum shots. So
Yeah.
we're gonna just leave that be. What else?
So today we're talking what we view as our best practices.
True.
When it comes to the world.
Also, what do you guys think about this fucking new lighting here? We got kind of a dark studio, front lighting here.
Yep.
I dig it. I think it looks really cool.
I look less fat with anything black, so the black lights.
You got the black shirt on today.
You're just a floating
I am
head
just
right
arms
now.
and head.
Yeah.
Yeah, you are. Yeah, right. Which is all your best features, by the way. So, your hair, though. It
Yeah,
misses
man, I
out
like
on your
something
hair.
else though.
Oh. So you're like maybe like the peg, like the third leg sort of situation. Speaking of which, did you guys see Tommy Lee?
No.
No,
You guys
I've
do not
seen
see-
it before.
Sure,
Yeah.
we've all seen
Where
it
he
before.
steered the fucking steering wheel with the yeah.
Yeah, but no.
I can tell you, without a doubt, his dick has not aged one bit. That thing is.
Did you see it again?
Of course I did.
He just posted it
He
on
just
social
posted
media.
it on Instagram.
Yeah.
Why
And
wouldn't you if it's like 4 miles long?
right. So, dude's got an impressive dick. So good for him for being a rock star with an impressive dick, and
That has herpes C.
Yeah.
all of the herpes.
Super-
Hepatitis
He's got a
C.
herpes
Super
H.
disease.
So hepatitis H, I think. The question is, have you seen it, but have you seen it lately?
No.
And I have.
Yeah.
And it's aged very well. I'm very impressed with it. So if you've got anything packing, as close to Tommy Lee, congratulations, my friend.
Maybe Tommy Lee when he was like starting puberty.
Oh, okay. So like 13-year-old Tommy Lee.
Yeah, who
That's
knows?
still probably,
It's probably
pretty
still
impressive.
pretty
I
impressive.
think you'd be fucking top of the pack in China, but like maybe here you're just
Yeah.
like, okay, so
Above average.
above average, just a measly above average. Yeah, I didn't want to see it, but your wife
Yeah.
sent it to my wife, and I was like, oh, let me see. It wasn't gay. It's
Yeah,
just
that's
like
'cause-
honestly,
that's
it's just,
because-
I want to see what 10 years looks like.
My wife's old coworkers
Yeah.
all were having this conversation about it because one of her coworkers is very infatuated with it. So
Honestly, it's a very impressive dick. Like, I don't think you have to be gay. Like, okay, so think about it this way. New Girl, the show, there is this moment where Nick, one of the characters, was like, I know you guys don't watch the show, so I'm going to recap.
I've seen it. Yeah.
we're
So
well
they,
aware of New
so
Girl.
they both. So Nick is like, I don't understand how people can, if you're straight, like, how can you call somebody else handsome? How do you know if somebody else is handsome? And it was very well put by, I think, Schmidt, and that is, if you look at him and you say, man, it'd be cool if I looked like him, that's how you know somebody's handsome.
That's fair.
And if his dick looked like mine, I'd be all right. I mean, I'd want it circumcised, I think, because I feel like that's better. A better like look for myself personally. It's a personal decision. I'm not trying to put that on anybody, but like I'm just saying he's got a nice dick.
So what we're
Like, I
saying
wouldn't
is,
mind if that was my dick.
for your fantasy football best practices, get Tommy Lee's dick.
Yeah.
Draft his dick. It's gonna be the number 2 running
no one-
back on the Colts for
No,
sure.
I just finished season 3 of The Boys, which, by the way, you're fucking lacking.
Gotta catch that. I gotta get my wife.
not?
It's my wife. It's all on my wife. I would have
Besides-
watched it all this weekend and not played video games, not done your floors this weekend. I would have just watched The Boys, but my wife was out of town. So don't argue with me. It's my wife.
In all fairness,
I-
I have been telling you to watch this for weeks.
Have you been telling my
Weeks.
wife to watch this?
You guys
I got Frodo to watch the entire thing after like a month of threatening him with paintballs, and he's watched all 3 seasons.
We still
And
do
text
need to
him
do
on
that.
it.
Yeah, we still do need to do that. That paintball shit.
But don't change the subject. You need to watch The Boys. It's been out for like
Don't talk
6
to
months
me,
now.
talk
There
to my
is-
wife.
I am talking to you because you can talk to your wife.
I have talked to my wife.
Speaking of dicks, there is a one that makes Tommy Lee look way undersized.
Shit. Well, that's because somebody goes Ant-Man on it, right?
No.
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 Well, yes,
Yes,
but
and
not
no.
that. No.
And
No.
then not.
But that's
Hey.
not the dick he's talking
No.
about. There's another dick he's talking about.
Oh, okay. All right. All right, so what else? So we're talking about this is our best practices episode. This is the one that we do every year where we talk about this is sort of a fantasy 101. This is how you do it. This is what it is. This is what you play. This is your strategy. So I don't know, Rick. Why don't you take it away with our I don't know, different ways to play fantasy?
So the most common way that people are going to start out is just a standard redraft. And that's where you are just drafting a team each year. You'll play the waiver wire a bunch throughout the year. And when at the end of the year, that team's gone.
Fresh reset.
Yeah, you don't ever see that team again unless you happen to draft all the same players. But and then you have Dynasty, which is basically drafting an entire roster that you then turn into a regular seasonal team.
Yeah.
And the only thing that changes is your rookies. You add rookies in each year.
Or trades, yeah.
Or trades, exactly. But, I mean, as far as just adding new people, mostly it's just rookies.
It's like an evolution. It's kind of like trying drugs. You start off with a little bit of weed,
Yep.
and then it's like progresses. And weed is your redraft. It's constantly brand new every single time.
And pretty soon you're hooked on fucking heroin.
And you're like, let's try something. That was pretty good. Let's try something else. And then you get in a keeper league, and you're like, oh, I get to keep a couple players.
Well, that's what we turned our main redraft into, was a keeper league. So we keep 2 players, and that varies. Some leagues only keep 1. Some leagues keep up to 4.
Keeper leagues are fun. So, just to talk about keeper leagues real quick. So, with keepers, what we do is we do it's where you draft at the beginning, and then some teams punish or some teams reward you for carrying extra team or a player forward from one year to the next.
Yep. Right.
So what you end up doing is, so in our league, year 1 you draft fucking Derrick Henry in the first round. So year 2, if you want to keep Derrick Henry, then you have Derrick Henry in...
Or say, like what happened in our league, where somebody drafted Derrick Henry before Derrick Henry became the Yeti.
That's true.
And I think he drafted him in the 9th round.
Oh, that's right. I forgot about that.
So he got Derrick Henry in the 9th round, right? The year that Derrick Henry became the Yeti.
Yeah.
And then in our league, we reward you if you keep that player. So that then 9th round player that you drafted becomes a 10th round pick.
So now you get to keep 2 people from every year, and
different positions.
Different positions.
In
you
our
can't
league,
keep 2 running backs. You can't keep 2 wide receivers.
Right.
Whatever. In our league, the hardest part about keeper is there's no set standard. So what you have to do is you have to kind of come up with your own way of playing it. Yep. Now, what we wanted to do is we wanted to make it a little bit more easier, beneficial for you to keep one player from one year to the next. But you can only keep them 2 times, meaning you draft them, then you keep them, and then you keep them, and now they enter back. They have to enter the draft pool again.
Yeah.
Yep.
So,
and that's this year.
That's this year.
Yep.
Now we're doing something kind of fun this year. It just happens to be the 5th year of our current belt, our current trophy.
Yep.
And so what we're doing is we're doing a super league. So what you have is, instead of a normal buy-in, which is what do we do? Like
we were
25 bucks. So we did $25 as our normal buy-in. This year we're doing a $100 buy-in. No second place.
Yeah. Normally we have a second place, and a third place gets their money back.
Yep.
Yeah.
Third place gets their money back. Second place doubles up or triples up,
I think it was triple up.
And then first place wins the rest. And this year, first place wins everything. Full $1,000 this year.
And you keep the belt.
And you keep the belt forever. So that's the biggest deal to me. Is I couldn't give a fuck about the $1,000. I want the belt forever.
Yeah. But then you also have to then bring in the next trophy.
Next trophy, whatever you want to do. So it's, if you want to do another belt, if you want to do a ring, if you want to do an actual trophy, if you want to do,
it has to be legit. It can't just be like some Dollar Tree fucking like participation trophy.
Right, you got to make a real fucking effort at this.
I already picked out the one I'm going to buy when I win the league.
There's a company that does a Lombardi trophy.
Yep.
There's a company that does a signed football, and so you could do that.
Yeah.
And what we do, or a custom football. I mean, not a signed football, but a custom football. with a trophy stand. So we could do that. But I don't know what I want to do yet. But if and when I win this league, I'm going to have a lot of fun picking out the next trophy. And then we have another 5-year trophy.
Yep.
So Keeper League, this is our final year for the original keeps that we had. Keeper League is really fun because you get to punish somebody or you get to reward somebody for keeping a player from one year to the next. But it's sort of a tiptoe into Dynasty.
Yep. Yeah.
Which is sort of the let's say that Taco Bell is a redraft league. That's what most people play is Taco Bell. It's delicious. It's amazing. Everybody fucking loves Taco Bell. Nobody's going to complain about Taco Bell.
It's on everybody's top 5.
Yeah. Absolutely. But sometimes you want to go to an actual fucking restaurant.
Yep.
But not just like a Mexican restaurant. You want to go to a fucking taco cart in the poor end of town with 50-cent tacos that are amazing, that blow your mind, that might be made of possum, but you don't give a fuck because they're amazing.
Delicious.
They're amazing. So that's what Dynasty is.
Yeah.
Dynasty is a little more complicated.
It's not for everybody.
It's not for everybody. Not everybody wants to eat possum.
Because you have to pay attention in the off season. You have to make moves in the off season.
Where in
that's
season,
that's the most busy time when it comes to Dynasty is the off season, whereas redraft, your busy time is only during the season.
Right, and the trades happen inside. So redraft, you're constantly waiver wires run every week, and there's always something. In Dynasty, there isn't really. You don't have
because you have bigger rosters.
Yeah, your bigger rosters. Your biggest thing is putting your like you struggled with that one year where you had a ton of points that always sat on your bench, is getting the right lineup in.
Yep.
But you run it like an NFL team, and that's where trades really come into key, where you really make a big change on your team. Last week on the pod, I sent Scott a trade request.
Yep.
I wanted Tyreek Hill. He turned that one down, but countered, and we worked back and forth.
Yeah,
and
you guys worked back and forth for a couple of a day or two on it.
It was that day, yeah, basically.
Yeah, when I eventually returned to it, it was just that day.
Okay.
That I actually looked at it, and
so I had originally sent Renfro and Kenneth Walker for Tyreek Hill.
Yep.
He countered back, and you know it's a good trade when you can't really tell who won or lost.
That's the best kind of trade, right?
Yeah. So we ended up settling on, I got Tyreek Hill, Breece Hall, his 2023 second and first round pick, and I sent Austin Eckler, Darnell Mooney, Kenneth Walker, and the 2024 second round pick and the 2025 first.
So yeah, what we effectively did was I traded this next year for a couple of years down the road.
Yeah.
And
got a top running back.
And one of the wonderful things, this was probably my favorite trade I've ever done, because I don't need to like win a trade to like it. Honestly, I just like a balanced trade. That makes me feel like we've done something good here.
Yeah.
And what we did here is Frodo's team at the end of last season was
Not
ready
great.
for rebuild.
Yeah.
It was full on rebuild.
Yep.
And then you got a steal out of a Deebo Samuel trade.
Yep.
And then all of a sudden you're in contention again.
Yep.
And now what you've done is you are, I would say, probably on the outside of contention, but if a couple of lucky games go in, you're still going to make a run for it. You're not totally on the outs like you were at the beginning or at the end of last season.
Mm-hmm.
And what I've done...
Your wide receiver core got stacked this
Yes.
somehow this up because you
Absolutely.
added Tyreek Hill, you added Cooper Kupp.
Yep.
Yeah, my wide receiver core currently is Cooper Kupp, Tyreek Hill, Jalen Waddle,
It kind
Hunter
of sucks
Renfro.
that you have both Hill and Waddle.
I thought about that, but
Except that he has Tua, which
And
means that he is going to connect basically on every receiving touchdown. He's going to score. He's going to double up
Which
twice.
I'm not starting
But he
to double
also
stat.
has Patrick Mahomes though.
Right.
So
Oh, I forgot about that.
Yeah.
Yeah. So if I'm you, I'm probably trading
but
him
depending on how Patrick
for a
Mahomes plays this year,
2025.
right.
but depending on how Patrick
Right.
Mahomes starts playing this year, and compared to how
Yep.
Tua plays this year, after like week 3 or 4, you might go, let's switch these and see how it goes for a little while.
Right.
Yeah. And I was still happy I got Cam Akers, which is dealing with some injuries. Nick Chubb, who's probably going to be the number one. Brees Hall, and then I made sure to get a couple backups. And, like, my running back core isn't quite there, but I really wanted 2023 because, like, in Dynasty, you're looking at the future rookie class.
Exactly.
And the 2023 class is fucking stacked with running
stacked.
backs.
Yep.
The running backs coming out are, like, fantastic. And I'm a Dolphin homer, and there's a very good chance they could be targeting the Texas running back, which will be, I mean,
Somebody will take it right before them.
And that somebody is Rick.
Yeah.
No, I mean, somebody like
draft.
some other team will take it right before the Dolphins.
Watching him, and there's three other ones.
26 minutes, by the way, is how long I made it before I pulled out my headphones.
Excellent. Robinson's out of Texas has been, like, some of them are comping Adrian Peterson to him. So, like, that's a pretty good comp.
God damn, yeah.
So,
see, and this is where your benefit comes in because you actually pay attention to college, and I'm just like the only players I pay
attention to offensive players. I don't watch football.
Right.
The only players I pay attention to in college are the players that are entering the draft and should be going in the first round of dynasty drafts.
Yeah.
So dynasty is you draft your initial draft. Listen to our last week's episode, but the real
we did a deep dive on dynasties last week.
Quick recap is you do your primary draft which is everybody that's in the league right now, and then you do a rookie draft that is all of the new guys that come in after this year's.
So if you did a
draft.
dynasty this coming weekend,
Yeah.
you would only draft the players that were in from last year.
Word.
And then you would do a separate draft, completely separate from that, and it would be everybody who came through the draft this year.
Fuck, his hair is so amazing. I just want his hairline so bad.
It's always soft, too, for some reason.
I like his downstairs hairline, too. It's just like...
It's a little more wiry and bushy, but it has good body to it.
Think of the tree warriors from Lord of the Rings, and that's his downstairs bush. It's amazing. It's glorious in its size and quantity.
It provides shade for the other pieces.
Yes. And the color would shock you. It's amazing. It's a glorious sunrise of a golden yellow. All right.
And when the wind blows, so you hear it say, "You're welcome."
Moving on.
So anyway, redraft, dynasty,
Too much dick talk in this episode.
There's a lot of dick talk. It's a little bit more than usual, but not a lot more.
It's a lot more than usual, and it's all from you.
Well, I've had a lot of vodka cranberries, and you know how that brings out the gay. So redraft is your standard league. Dynasty is your long-term league. Keeper is kind of in between. And then there's daily fantasy, which is sort of this.
We're still trying to figure out ourselves. And basically, you draft. Yeah. You're drafting a running back, two running backs, two wide receivers, and a tight end, and a defense, and a quarterback, and just for that week's game.
Yep. You pick on a week-to-week basis,
or even like morning games, and not including the afternoons might have another. So the biggest thing is pick a league. It's not so much. You got to pick the right format, but pick the ones you want to play with, because you're playing when you have a league with fantastic managers and people you're playing with.
Yeah.
The other thing about daily fantasy is you're generally given like a budget. And each player costs a certain amount. And one trick that I've seen that actually works pretty well is if you work backwards. You work at the lesser positions.
Oh, interesting. Okay.
And you work at the lower budgets.
Yeah.
So you're like, okay, I'll sacrifice here, and then when you get down to like your last like running back, wide receiver, you're like, okay, I have quite a bit here.
I have a lot of room here. Let's
figure out the best matchup, the best top end player, and play it that way. So
there's some big money in those.
Yeah, that's the thing. Is a lot of daily fantasy is cash based. You can play it just for fun, like regular fantasy,
$5-10.
But yeah, you can play on a week to week basis for like $5, and you can have yourself a good time.
Yeah,
getting invested, because the whole point of fantasy football is getting invested in teams that are not your own team.
Right.
You know what I mean? So like what I like to do is I'm a Seahawks fan. You're a Dolphins fan.
Yep.
Rick is a 49ers fan. And before I started
Week
fantasy
12 is
football,
going to be lit.
Yeah,
yes, it is.
We're
Yeah.
going to a game this year.
Yeah.
We're not really that close to any teams.
No.
Closest team is Seahawks.
Yep. But San Francisco and the Dolphins play in December.
Yep.
And we are all going. We have another buddy who is also a San Francisco fan. And and the four of us are going to go down and watch this game, watch the 49ers stomp all over the Dolphins.
Normally,
Not gonna
I
happen.
would root for the 49ers. And if it was the three of us going, I would root for the 49ers. Because my rule in life has always been, when playing video games against Rick and I have a very, very established pattern. We always root for each other, right?
Yep.
Like, so starting back in WWF versus WCW on PlayStation 1, we would pick two different players, do a, what is it called? It was a ladder, the
Hell in a Cell.
Hell in a Cell. And what we would do is we would root for each other all the way through, and then when we're going head to head, that's when we can say "fuck you, you little bitch."
Yeah.
And that's been our mentality through the years. And when we don't root for each other, we start to lose our own personal games.
Yep.
So we cannot root against each other in a normal situation. However, in this one singular situation, you're bringing a 49er fan with you. Frodo is not bringing a 49er fan with you.
No, I'm going into someone else's home.
Exactly. And so I feel honor bound.
But the good thing is the 49er fan I'm bringing with me can whoop both your guys' asses.
For sure.
Not when I break my dick out.
And to be clear, I'm not a part of the chokeout challenge. You guys are doing your own chokeout challenge, which is something about coming in each other's pants. I think that what I want to do is I think I got to get a Dolphins jersey, and join you. So that way there's a balance in the universe. Because really what yours and my relationship is about balance. Like when you're Undertaker,
We have to bring balance to
I'm
the force.
Kane. There is a balance to the relationship. When you're Stone Cold Steve Austin, I am Kurt Angle.
Yeah.
Like there is symbiosis.
Yeah.
And that's what we have to do, which is why I have to buy, to go to this game, I have to buy a Dolphins jersey. So I don't know which one I'm going to get.
Yeah, I was going to say, who are you going to buy?
Probably Jim Carrey.
Can you still get Fitzmagic?
Oh, that'd be cool. That'd be
You
sick.
could probably find one. Yeah.
I'm sure I could find one, but I can't because that's not quite it's not really
and they
giving
kind of did him wrong. So.
They did him wrong.
Yeah.
If I could find I forget the player's name in Ace Ventura, but if I can find the
Ray Finkel?
Ray Finkel.
Thank you.
They do have Finkel jerseys.
Dude,
If
you
I-
could
they
absolutely get a Finkel
They had
jersey.
Finkel jerseys at the Dolphin Stadium when I went there.
That's fantastic.
That's great, dude. So I'm gonna get a Finkel jersey because that makes sense.
Yes.
Right?
That absolutely
So
makes sense.
that's me taking care of myself, and that's me taking care of my homeboy Frodo.
Yes.
Because we could absolutely hang a Finkel jersey on the wall.
Fucking hell,
Yes.
we can. Yeah, dude. So anyway, so that's what we're going to do when we go to the 49ers Dolphins game.
game.
If it was just Rick and I going, I would buy myself a Niners jersey and I would hold it strong for him. But I'm not going to do that because Frodo can't be 3v1. You know what I mean? That's unfair. That's unfair. All right, so we got to start coming through some of these.
Brandon's going to slap the shit out of you for that.
I know, but he's going to choke the shit out of him.
If I get to choke him out,
Yep.
he's gonna have to teach me how to
Yeah.
do.
No,
That's
you can just do it by yourself. You can figure out. You can just put the gut bomb on him. You can Rafiki. No,
Rashiki?
Rashiki.
Oh,
you
no.
can Rashiki him.
No,
Do the train?
I think I got it. He's gonna have to experience something that you experienced from Cycle.
Oh, fuck.
Oh
no.
my God, he's
Hell
gonna have
no.
to follow you in, isn't he?
No, he's
No.
gonna get hotboxed inside the truck.
He's gonna hotbox.
No.
Oh my God. This
or
No.
or he can come on the podcast and both you and him are wearing Dolphins cheerleader outfits with midriffs.
Ooh, I'm down for that. That sounds fun. I'll wear my Finkel jersey. Yeah. You wear your tour jersey, your Fitzpatrick jersey, your whatever jersey
Will
you want.
figures out some sort of punishment.
Yeah. This will be good. So anyway, that's going to
Anyways.
happen. When is that? December 4th?
December 4th.
yeah.
Yeah, so that's going to be a really fun game. We're going to do some live streaming from that game.
Yep.
Fucking pay attention to that.
From what I
I'm
saw,
sure we'll
there's-
get some TikToks going and that sort of thing.
From what I saw, like looking at all the tickets, there isn't really a bad seat in that stadium. It's a fairly modern, it's a newer stadium, so they built it so you could see it. There's not that many seats though. So
are going to have to make about a 45-minute drive, detour the day before or the day after to Robley Avenue in San Francisco so I can commit a felony.
okay,
That's fine.
My wife was
That's
like, you can't like fly back with that, and I was like,
We're driving.
yeah, I can.
driving, yeah.
I can. Whether we drive or whether we fly.
Speaking
what
of
are
which-
they gonna be like? Oh, that's a street sign. You can't fucking fly with that. I'm like, whatever, dude. I got fucking weed in my backpack. You can't fucking.
We'll need to pick a hotel too. It just depends
Yeah.
on how far we want to go from.
Yeah, we'll figure that out.
Yep.
So you
Okay,
got the tickets.
anyways.
That's all that matters.
Yes. Next up would be like your scoring system to get back on track. Your first most usually people break into it is standard, which is you just get the yards that a player makes, so off a catch or a rush, or passing yards, and then touchdowns only.
Yep.
And that's usually the what breaks you in. The next evolution, which I think is the best, is half point or full point PPR. PPR is points per reception.
Yep.
That drastically changes what players you might draft, especially at the running back position.
Yep.
Or receivers,
Because your pass catching backs have so much more value.
yeah, if they're catching 4, 5, 6 passes a game, besides the yardage that you just gained 3 extra points.
It also changes with your slot receivers who don't get a ton of yards.
Possession receivers where they're catching
But
a
if
lot
they're
of
getting
underneath.
12, 13 catches in a game,
Yeah.
that's adding up quickly when it comes to
Yeah.
scoring.
It could be 6 to 12 points. I mean, it
so
could drastically change it.
When you're looking at your when you're looking at your flex position, you're looking for those players that are going to get more of the possessional value rather than looking for a guy that's going to get maybe 1 or 2 passes and may take one to the house, which is great.
Right.
But if you're guaranteed that a guy's going to get 6 receptions in a game, you're going to go after that way more.
J.D. McKissick built his value in fantasy on
Absolutely.
that. White, he just retired, but James White from the
New England.
Patriots, yeah. I mean, all those guys like Hunter Renfrow this past season was fantastic.
Yeah.
PPR god. Wes Welker was probably the biggest PPR god.
Yeah.
Because he was just destroyed leagues by catching a billion passes from Brady. Thanks,
Yeah.
Dolphins, for trading him originally to the Niners.
We were standard for
Patriots.
quite a few years, and then we finally switched over to a half point. We've done full points as well. I prefer a half point.
I like the balance of a half point.
Yeah, there's a solid balance, but you still get the positional advantage with the half point.
Yeah.
Standard scoring, it doesn't matter. You're just looking for the guys that are getting the touchdowns.
Yeah.
Or yards.
Right, exactly. There's nothing complicated about a standard scoring league, which is fine. I mean, that's honestly, it's a great gateway drug, right? Like weed, it's awesome, right? Nobody's got anything wrong with weed.
It makes the players like Derrick Henry, who never really gets a ton of receptions.
Nope.
It makes him the number 1 running back rather than somebody like CMC who gets fucking he'll score 30 points without scoring a touchdown.
Yeah.
Right.
Which is so stupid.
Speaking of PPR, half point PPR, let's talk about real quick. Alvin Kamara appears that he's not going to be suspended this year. So he's going to be able to play out this full season, we think.
Most likely.
Likely. So if you're drafting early
Because
this
his
year.
court case has gotten pushed back until like
Exactly.
And the commissioner won't take
February
it.
or something like that.
Yeah, won't do anything until that's sorted.
Exactly.
Because if he's exonerated, then you punish a player for something he was not which
he was
won't
not
happen,
technically guilty for.
Well,
Yeah,
but there was just video of it and whatnot.
Yeah.
So whatever.
yeah, he's super guilty.
Yeah.
Super duper guilty.
I said it's not the case, but
yeah.
yeah.
So the difference. So the important thing about the scoring systems is knowing your scoring system before you go into your draft.
Right.
Because it changes who you're drafting where.
Right. The draft order. If you just go off of ADP, average draft position, the system is going to look at your scoring, which is, call it half point or full PPR or standard, and it's going to say this is what you should do based on everybody else that's drafting out there,
Yeah.
all of the experts. This is what you should
In
do.
these same draft categories.
Except that sometimes you have a Frodo league where it's got a premium on tight end.
Yeah. And I was drafting at the turn at the back.
Yep. And so 9 people ahead. 19? Or was it a 12-team
Yeah,
league?
I think that was a 10 team. 10 or
So-
12, one of the two.
So 10 or 12, so 9 or 11 people before him didn't listen to the rules on this league, and he paid attention and noticed that it was a tight end premium. So you drafted Travis Kelce
Because you were getting like 2 points per reception or something like that.
Yeah, it's 2 points per reception, and you got like a point and a half additional for the yardage or something like that. So I drafted Travis Kelce and George Kittle.
Back to
Yeah.
back.
Back to back. Boom, boom.
Yeah.
Like, everyone kind of gave me shit, and Lee like, oh my, it's tight end premium. And I fucking wiped the floor.
Fun.
What the
It
hell
just
is...
looks so much better without that up there.
Okay.
So I just thought I'd just pull that
How
down
the fuck do you know that?
because I'm staring at the camera.
Okay. Well, anyways, so welcome back to Home
But it was
Makeover.
there the whole time. You didn't move it.
Your camera looks better with the blue behind you. His
Gotcha.
is he's just
Okay.
fucking hidden behind there.
I didn't realize that. I'm like, how the fuck did you know
Anyways,
that?
so yeah, I drafted him, and I
Fucking
I-
looks sick now, dude. Just fucking trust me, all right?
I dominated because I could put one in my tight end slot, one in my flex slot, and they did fantastic. So,
Yeah.
I mean, Travis Kelce, regularly on an average week, which normally he'd score like 17 to 20 points,
Right.
and that is scoring 60 to 80 points because
Right.
of just the absurd scoring system,
Yeah. So, I mean, pay attention to your scoring system.
which I just left that league. But
Oh, did you?
oh, everyone dropped out because they weren't competing because I took the 2 tops, so I was just.
Right.
And they just started quitting, so I was like, nah,
So you're
fuck
just
this
walking
shit.
away with it. And that actually brings us around to a really good point, which is if you're starting a league for the first time, it's going to take you a few years before you guys get
A good base.
everybody that's really paying attention for a long time. You know, so like right now, what we did is we took some from our long running league and some from Frodo's long running league, and we put them together to make a dynasty league. And
Yeah.
and add
Because
one or two
unless you
outside
like
players.
watch football with like 10 or 12 buddies every week,
Yep.
Yeah.
you're not gonna have the same teams every year.
Which
Right.
one of them from the Dynasty League is going to be on the podcast at some point?
Who's that?
Justin, I think Justin Cram. When
Yeah.
we were live stream, when we draft, because they set it up for Monday night so we could draft
Oh,
live.
that's right. That's what
Yeah.
we're gonna do. So
Yeah.
we're gonna. That's right. I'm gonna try and figure out a way to wire them in so that way
Yeah.
everybody can be part of the audio. I think I can do it. We'll get
And,
it tested
and we'll
out.
set this up so the camera's just in the corner, and the whole thing will be the actual draft board from.
Yeah,
Super.
yeah. It'll be a good time. It'll be
Yep.
a really good time. I'm pretty excited about that. So your draft strategy is heavily based on the scoring.
Yep.
So you start
Yeah.
with your scoring platform, and then you move on to your draft strategy. And there's a
Right.
couple of different ways that you can draft. Sort of the standard way that every new beginner is going to draft is sort of a system-based ADP, average draft position again. And that is based on your scoring, how many or who's getting picked first, second, third, fourth, all the way down to the bottom.
And ADP stands for
Average
Draft
average draft
position.
position. So everyone who maybe didn't know that out there.
Yeah, and so with these with that, there's nothing wrong with that. In fact, statistically, if you want to be the best, have the best team, that's probably going to be the way to do it. But you don't want to go on auto draft because
No.
one of the problems with every platform that's out there, every single one of them, is they're going to auto draft every position before they fill out your bench spot.
Correct.
So that means that they're going to put, in every good league, quarterback, running back, wide receiver, tight end, defense, and kicker. In every bad league, they're going to remove the kicker. So, so they're going to draft those positions first, and then they're going to start filling out your bank, which means that your tight end, which is usually going to be a later pick, your quarterback, which should be a later pick, and your defense and kicker, which should be at the very back end of your draft, are going to get picked.
Or not drafted at all, and then you just pick them up on the waiver wire.
Right.
Exactly. And those players, and now all of a sudden you have to pick premium. Your premium picks are going towards those picks at the end that should be going in the 13th or 14th round. You're picking your defense or your kicker in the 7th round or the 6th round.
Remember back when we first started our league and like Seattle's defense was getting picked in like the 2nd round?
Yes.
I wasn't around then, but
you
I came
weren't.
in 15
Yeah.
and won. That was.
remember it that way.
You don't gotta be like
I
that.
did because
You
that was Cam Newton's MVP
You
year.
don't gotta be.
Oh,
like
yeah.
that. You don't gotta be.
Yeah,
like
look, and that actually brings up a really good point that sometimes, in fact, most of the time, luck is involved. You got Cam Newton, which was a really good pick, especially at the value that you got him at the time, and you won the league that year. The year that I won, one of the years that I won, I've won twice. One of the years that I won mostly on the back of fucking Peyton Manning throwing 55 touchdowns.
And then
That's helpful.
And then a couple years ago, I won because Alvin Kamara ruined Rich's Christmas.
That's true.
But at
Rich
least did
won
early.
based on Todd Gurley going
Nope.
crazy.
Nope.
No? I thought it was Todd Gurley.
David Johnson.
David
2 years in a
David
row.
Johnson.
2 years. That's David Johnson.
Yep.
And then he
So-
fell off the face of the earth.
Yep.
Yep.
That's indeed true.
Yeah. So
Rest in peace.
yeah. So what we're doing is so with your draft strategies, the primary one is your ADP. That's just going off of who's the best person available at the time that you're drafting. Right.
And most like redrafts and most any startup really ever is going to run snake. It's going to go like first round all the way through, and then it doesn't jump back to the top. It'll circle back around. So if
1
you're
through
picking
10,
one,
10 through 1,
Yeah.
1 through 10, 10
Yep.
through 1. And redraft leagues should go that way because you don't want the draft power, the draft capital to be centered on one
the-
person.
yeah.
Right.
So doing a snake draft will give you a balanced power theoretically. However, in Dynasty, they treat it much more like the NFL draft.
your startup draft's going to be snake, but then your rookie is
Exactly.
outside of the first startup year. Everything's going to run off of standings just like the NFL. So the worst team gets a first pick all the way through. So
It's all about equity, right?
Yeah.
Like we want to keep the game as equitable as possible. We want to keep the players as equitable as possible. The managers as equitable as possible. That's the second time I've pulled out the headphone.
your ADP, you're basically looking at like, okay, in this, say, group of players, I have 3 running backs and 4 wide receivers I really like in, say, you know, when you're planning out, you kind of know what players you gravitate towards. Like,
Right.
I like the way this player plays. I want to target him. Hopefully he's there at that draft.
Right.
If he's not, then you have a backup. I want to go this, this, and this. And then if you're comfortable with where you're drafting them, you take them. That's where they're the draft position you're filling.
Yep.
So say 3rd round and there's 3 running backs but 7 wide receivers. As you're planning out your draft, you're just like, oh well, maybe like 8th round there's 4 running backs I kind of like there, but only 2 wide receivers.
Yeah.
Take the receiver early.
Right.
Save yourself on the back end.
So the outside of ADP, once you get into drafting and you've done it for a couple of years, the 2 most common ways that you draft are 0 RB and or 0 wide receiver.
0 wide receiver probably is the most common.
Correct. And when they say 0 RB or 0 wide receiver, it's obviously not going completely 0. It's the first couple of rounds. Generally, you are taking either a wide receiver or a running back in the first couple of rounds.
Yeah. So your premium picks are going towards wide receiver or running back based on either of these 2 methods.
All 3 of us generally go running back heavy in the first at least 2 rounds.
Yeah.
So that would be considered a zero wide receiver because you're not taking a wide receiver until the 3rd or 4th round, depending on how it goes. So with that, you then load up one position to start out, and then you kind of filter through with the rest of them. So you'll kind of take a bunch of wide receiver or a bunch of running backs at the beginning, and then you don't take another running back until like I don't know, 8 or 9 when you're taking some flyers on some guys.
Yep.
The wide receivers are usually so much deeper.
Yes.
In their
so
ability.
that's
and
why
the benefit of the running back heavy, the zero wide receiver strategy.
Most of the top end running backs go in the first 2 rounds.
Right.
Generally.
And the gap between tier 1, tier 2, and then tier 3 running backs is very
massive.
wide
Yeah.
compared to tier 1 and tier 2 and tier 3 of wide receivers.
Or even tier 4.
And obviously, somebody will sneak through at some point every year, such as Cordell Patterson last year, who was taken in the 9th round and ended like wide or running back 6.
Yeah.
Same thing with wide receivers. I mean, wide receivers.
Somebody will come out of nowhere.
Cooper Kupp, I think last year was drafted in like the 3rd or 7th round, I think.
Something like that.
Something like that, yeah.
And was obviously the wide receiver 1. So I mean, look, it's not. There is some luck-based, strategy. Or not strategy. There is some luck involved. Right. Otherwise, it wouldn't be a gambling type sport.
I remember I tried to trade him Debo at one point in that season, and he turned me down.
Yeah.
Because he had Ayuk.
And then definitely the draft position that you are in determines how you draft as well.
That's really important because if you're at the top end of the draft, 1 through 5, you're almost always going to take a running back.
Yep.
But if you're at the back half, that's where it starts to become a coin flip between the best running back, the best available running back,
correct,
the best wide receiver, and even sometimes, depending on the player,
the
best tight end.
Right.
Yeah.
But never the quarterback. I swear to God, if you draft a quarterback, stop listening to us right now. If you draft a quarterback in the 1st round, game over. You're done. Stop listening. I don't want you as a fan.
Yeah, we as a collective group, I think the earliest that we would ever draft a quarterback is like 6. Earliest.
Right.
Yeah.
Like, we're not taking the flyer. Like, hey, I'd love to have Josh Allen on my team.
Love to.
I'm not taking a 2nd or 3rd round pick on Josh Allen.
No.
The point being that the wide receiver or the running back or even maybe the tight end that you get in the 4th, 5th, and 6th round are typically going to be more valuable compared to the rest of the running back, wide receivers, or tight ends that are available.
Yeah.
Because quarterback 1 is only, at the end of the year, is only 20% off of quarterback 13, 14, 15.
Yeah.
So
they score so many points that the point differential is not worth it in most people's opinion.
Right. Yeah.
To spend up on a top tier quarterback, your Josh Allen, Patty Mahomes, that type of player.
Right.
When you could get somebody like Matt Stafford later on, or a whole multitude. I mean, even Tom Brady is falling. I mean, I think he's like quarterback 7 or something like that off the board right now. And he's been putting up consistent numbers every year, fantasy-wise. So there's no reason to draft a quarterback that high. Yes, he's going to score you some decent points. But the wide receiver that you take in the 2nd or 3rd round is going to vastly outperform, most likely, the wide receiver that you take in the 6th, 7th, 8th round.
And zero RB is usually done by the guy sitting smack in the middle of the draft.
Yep.
Right.
And only in a PPR league.
Yeah.
You absolutely would never do that in standard form because if you're like, okay, the top 6 running backs are gone, 5 running backs, and you're sitting there with the number 1 like Cooper Kupp, Justin Jefferson, all the Devontae Adams, those guys are sitting there staring at you, or are you taking Joe Mixon? And you're like, okay, I'm going to take the top guy, snag another really top wide receiver,
right?
And I'm maybe in the 4th or 5th round, I'll snag like a Travis Etienne or a receiving back that's going to be beneficial,
right?
It's scary. It feels gross when I've practiced a couple times because I'm in our $10 PPR that we drafted.
I never like the look of my team when I draft as a no running back or
Yeah,
zero running
Oh
back.
yeah, when I'm in that late round, that which I'm in 2 leagues this year, I'm that 9th, 10th, 11th round or
I think I'm like
spot,
5 or 6 in that.
which is the worst.
Yeah.
So like I don't like being 9th, but it's more beneficial than being 5th.
Yeah.
Because 5th you get
No man's land.
the last of the you missed out on the premium players, and you're not going to get the second tier players.
Right.
It's a harder choice. You're like if you're
Do I be the first person to take
A
the
receiver.
wide receiver?
Right.
or do I take the running back that maybe
Decisions are made for you when
yeah
you're at 9.
I'm saying like I think
Absolutely.
5th, and I think I'm saying 6th. So most likely you're going to have Jonathan Taylor gone, Derrick Henry's gone, Dalvin Cook's gone. Most likely Austin Eckler's gone. CMC's gone.
Right.
So then you're sitting there like, I'm looking at sometimes Eckler might drop there, or do I take
Right.
Justin Jefferson, Cook, Kelsey, like all of these, like there's too many options that you have to make a decision on. You
Right.
just have to like, this is who I believe in and go after it.
Yep. So like he's saying, when you're sitting there and you're towards the latter half of your
Redraft league.
redraft league, if you're in that 8, 9, 10, 11, 12 type spot, you want to take your player that you like more so than maybe what is being recommended to you at that point.
This is where you need to trust your own research, your own instinct, your own play style over the ADP.
Yeah, because the issue is if you're at that 11 spot, you're going to have 11 and pick 14.
Right.
And then you're not going to have another pick for another 22
A
positions.
fucking hour and a
Yeah.
half. Yeah.
So when you're looking at that 14th spot, if there's someone you really like that normally goes at the end of the second or beginning of the third,
Right.
you're not going to get them.
So you have to decide whether or not you're going to take a flyer, or
Yep.
not a flyer per se, but whether or not you're going to risk a second round player
Yep.
versus getting the guy that you really believe in.
Right.
That's going at the end of the second round or the beginning of the third round.
Yep.
You might have to take him at 14 if you believe he's better than the rest of the guys in between. And that's where it really takes some balls to avoid the running back, or to go for the running backs, and at the turn right there, the turn being round 1 to round 2.
Right. And that's why you have to like really look ahead to what's going to be available next time you come around, because it'll kind of give you an idea of if everybody went off ADP, this is where you'd be looking when you're looking at your draft. So you can kind of see, okay, if I took two wide receivers here, what running back am I looking at? Or if I took 2 running backs here, what wide receiver am I looking at when it comes back around to me? Or should I go running back, wide receiver, and then have more of an open opportunity?
Right.
When it comes back around, I can take either position.
And
no
now
problem.
in round 3, you have flexibility to move out from there, whether you want to go heavy wide receiver at that point,
Yep.
or whether you want to go running back at
it's
that point.
making sure you're aware of, one, what's available in the draft, and 2, trying to know your league. Obviously, if you're in a startup league, you don't know your league, but if you
might know
your
a player
league,
or two if you're starting a new league from some scavenged together leagues.
if you know your league and you know how they generally draft, that helps. It's just one extra piece of information you have moving forward that helps you dictate your next
Dick.
move.
He said dick.
And that ties in with, as you go through your rounds, keep track of who your league mates have drafted.
Yeah,
absolutely.
If someone, say you're getting 9th, 10th, 11th round, they're still a fantastic fantasy value, and you're like, oh, I might need to take a quarterback. No. Look at your league. Like, you know what? Everyone's, or 11th, 12th, everyone's taking a quarterback rate. You're not in a redraft league. You're not picking up a backup to keep there. So go after positional and snag a later QB. Yep. You can capitalize on people who say, like, oh, I'm missing this tight end slot. Fuck tight ends. Outside the first 4 or 5, they're kind of dog
all
water.
the same.
Yeah, if 8 or 9 tight ends are off the board and you're looking at possibly taking a tight end, go, no, never mind.
I would rather
the
stream
likelihood,
a QB or
likelihood of somebody taking a tight end again is very low.
Yeah.
Unless they're just on auto draft.
Yeah.
And I will often do when it comes to QBs. I think we're all, pretty on board with the late QB style, which is QB 1 through 12 is going to be roughly the same anyway. So you might as well wait to spend a draft pick. Okay. QB 3 through 12 are going to be roughly the same anyway, so you might as well spend a late round draft pick on them.
Right, because you're getting, I've done a bunch of mocks, and this will lead into our next category. But if I go into the league, or say the $10 one, a startup PPR, I can go to my mocks and see the past mock drafts. You're looking in like round 11, 12, 13, Trevor Lawrence, Derek Carr, Kirk Cousins, Justin Fields, Matt Ryan, Matt Ryan went in the 15th round. I would rather have some of that and grab like Damian Pierce or Ramondre Stevenson or Christian Kirk or Sky Moore, players that are in that low teens that have fantastic capability and have a better potential to win you a week versus Matt Ryan. He's probably going to put up 20, 25 points a week, and that's all you need from your quarterback.
Right, exactly.
You don't need the 40 points like, Josh Allen, Justin Herbert, Patrick Mahomes. They're all going in the first 3 rounds.
And those guys are, there's no question about it. Those guys are good, and those guys are going to help you win certain weeks. But our point is that the wide receiver that you could have gotten there might make the difference in a win than say if you had, Derek Carr as your starting quarterback versus Patrick Mahomes.
And Derek Carr has a great potential to be. He's always like a averagely good fantasy quarterback.
Average to above average.
Yeah.
Yep.
He has potential of being above average this year with Devontae Adams. So,
for sure.
You look at it like that, and as you go through, and you're one place to really help with kind of your ADP of your own personal ADP is on Sleeper is the best platform by far. We've played every fantasy league pretty much out there on the major ones. Yahoo,
correct.
Oh,
NFL.
that's pretty good.
Was it ESPN? Wasn't ESPN NBC? Was CBS?
CBS.
That was dog shit.
Yay, sports! Amanda Holberg, thank you very much. Appreciate it.
And then
finally tuning in, we appreciate you.
Yahoo is probably the second best platform. Sleeper by far is the best.
The fantastic thing about Sleeper is Sleeper takes everything each year based off at Twitter and
they listen.
They listen to the fans of fantasy football. They make adjustments. They change things up.
We are a very small podcast. We appreciate the 3 of you that are listening today. And the next 19 of you that are going to download the podcast and listen to it on Spotify. But we're a very small podcast. And yet, Twitter listens to us.
Yeah.
They pay attention to us. And
Sleepers responded multiple times.
Yep. Yeah. We've communicated directly back and forth. And I'm not going to say that directly because of our input, but some of our input has been put into place because enough of people like us have been talking to them. Versus Yahoo, which is, again, our second favorite. I compare Yahoo to being like the Excel of fantasy football because it has all the information. And all the data is laid out for you that you need to make your decisions. All you have to do is know how to sort and order and collect the data.
Right.
Yeah.
Versus NFL or ESPN.
Yeah.
Which are just trash.
Which is like glorified, I don't know, walrus bunghole water.
Yeah.
Like it is disgusting.
Honestly,
not user friendly.
If you are in a NFL league or if you are in an ESPN league and you've never tried any other leagues, if you don't want to be disappointed, just stay where you are.
Yep.
If that's all you know, you're fine.
You're fine.
Yeah.
No big deal.
But if you go to an app like Sleeper or you go to Yahoo, you will be very disappointed with every other league. We have switched over every one of our leagues. We are completely Sleeper, and that's
We
it.
have tried every single league, every major brand that is out there.
Hands down, the best draft board you could
Yes.
possibly get.
Everything's color-coded.
Yep. And yep.
Positional.
It stays in order, which whatever the
positional.
fuck.
Yeah, NFL is
NFL
terrible for
did.
the draft board.
Yeah,
Oh my
NFL
god, it's
was-
so annoying.
NFL was weird. You had to figure that one out. But it's not that Sleeper is without flaws. There
No.
are some issues, and they are still working on those. And things that we like that other leagues don't like necessarily. You know, we're not the majority in every single decision that we make.
No.
But
Trades are very easy on Sleeper.
trades are very easy. Multi-team trades are very easy.
There
and
are things that Yahoo does better than Sleeper. There's nothing that ESPN does better than
zero.
any of the others.
Nothing that ESPN does.
Ever.
You know what? I will give them this. On each player in ESPN, there is a breakdown, a video breakdown from their analysts.
That's true.
Oh, that's
That
true,
is the
yeah.
only thing you get. You
And it-
get actual video breakdowns.
and it's their C team. It's not even their B team.
Yeah.
It's their C team that is working their way up to get some actual on-air time.
Yep.
But they have good information. They have some good video. You get to watch some film, and that's all right there out of the app on ESPN. So let's give them some love.
That's true. So if you do no other research on your own,
Yep.
or you don't watch
If you
regular
just do
football,
in-app research.
yes, then it's super helpful.
Yeah.
Outside of that, ESPN is complete garbage.
Yep.
Yeah. Yeah. Yeah.
And
it's-
NFL is just a little bit ahead of that.
And don't even touch CBS.
I would say that ESPN is the worst, then CBS, then NFL, then Yahoo, then Sleeper.
Yeah.
That would be my
And-
order.
And there's obviously a lot of other like little ones,
Underdog and
like
other
niche,
stuff.
niche
Yeah.
ones. But
My
as far
Fantasy
as
League and
as
We
far
should
as
try
your-
some of those
we
at some
should.
point so that we can start working
as
these
far
out.
as your main platforms,
Yeah.
Sleeper, hands down, best one there is.
and it's so
I'm
easy on your phone.
surprised that fantasy footballers haven't put together their own app. It seems like the
I think they were
natural
part of
extension-
Sleeper.
They're definitely partnered with them.
Yeah.
I don't know if they are
I
or
don't- what I-
sponsored by them. But
99% of all our fantasy stuff we do from one of these, right?
Yep.
And that's where Sleeper shines. They,
where they
are
excel, for sure.
so
Yeah, if you want
mobile
to,
centric.
if you want to use a computer, Sleeper is not the most.
if
It's
you want
not
to
bad, though.
exclusively
User-friendly.
use a
Yeah.
PC, I have a hard time with
It's
Sleeper.
gotten better
It's gotten better.
In the
because
Sure.
when it first came out, it was pretty much only app.
Yeah.
Yep.
And when, like last year in our draft, there was an issue in mid draft. I was at breakfast while it was going on, and I still went, I just from a couple taps, dun, 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 it was done.
Yep.
From his app, he was able to undo a pick, add a player, restart everything,
And
it
shift
was-
it to another person.
and it
Yeah.
was-
Whereas
perfect.
with you, when you were the commissioner of our NFL league,
Yep.
that was a whole fiasco anytime you had to make changes.
Yep.
Yeah.
Yep. It
And
was
you
a-
had to do it from a computer. You couldn't do anything from a phone.
and Yahoo, you can't make changes.
Right.
Posthumously, like you can't actually, after the week is over, you can't go back, change a player, you can't undo a trade, you can't undo, like, so the overall usability of Sleeper and the flexibility of being able to, as a commissioner, which Frodo and I are,
Yeah.
Rick is co-commissioner on a couple of leagues, and Sleeper is the best. So overall, not a sponsor. Bless me, thank you. Sleeper is the best. We've all come to the conclusion that Sleeper is the best, and all of our leagues have been shifted finally this year
Yep.
Yep.
to Sleeper, and we're pretty stoked about that.
Yep.
So I guess preparing for your draft is going to be sort of one of the biggest things you can do in terms of getting ready for the season. Your foundation is built in the draft, right?
Correct.
So
And the build up to your draft is like the anticipation of getting laid for the first time.
It's anticipation for
built
sure.
because draft day gets there and then you get all antsy and oh
Yeah.
my god, it's so good. Well, and then you're done. You're like, oh fuck, the draft's over.
you're like, oh fuck, I'm sweaty.
It's like the post nut clarity. You're like, Fuck, I shouldn't draft that person.
I
there.
should not have drafted that person.
That absolutely happens
Every time.
You have post-draft clarity 100% of the time. You went,
Absolutely.
Why the fuck did I draft that person there?
Right.
You're like, I could have drafted him instead. But no.
Yeah, I drafted a kicker in a league where there isn't a kicker or whatever it is.
Shouldn't be kickers in any
There
league.
should be kickers
at
in
all.
every single league, and we can have a whole episode on that debate. So in terms of preparing for your draft, there are different types of drafts. There are auction drafts. There are snake drafts that we talked about.
Yeah.
And the position that you're in within the draft, like you mentioned, is very important in terms of if you're, number 2, number 3 overall versus if you're 11 or 12, you're going to be drafting in a different style.
Yep.
Draft a QB late. And then fuck ADP. If you want somebody,
player.
if you like somebody, go for him. This year in our Dynasty League, you wanted Kenneth Walker. And you were going to do just about anything to make sure that you got Kenneth Walker. And you did. And you got exactly.
And James Cook.
And James Cook. I
You
wanted those
both
two.
Both those guys. Because you had an older running back core.
Yep.
And you saw these two guys as young, talented. I'm going to keep these guys, and they're going to do well for me. Because you didn't have the first overall.
Nope. I had 3rd and 7th.
And you knew my cost for the first was going to be too high.
Yeah, and I didn't want to go up there because I wasn't planning on taking Brees Hall.
Right.
So I was happy with where I stayed. I got the players I wanted.
Yep.
And then end up getting a player I wanted even more by using one of those assets.
And that's the point, is that to hell with everything else. If everything else says you should take this player over this player, but you want this player, go for him. Take him.
Yeah.
You know what? It's so much better. It's so much more fun to win the game with your team than, you might as well go on auto draft.
No joke. Deebo Samuel has netted me Cooper Kupp, Patrick Mahomes, and because I got the 7th round pick, I moved up and I got Kenneth Walker with that asset. The third spot was still mine because I sucked last year, and then turn Walker around with Eckler, who I traded also for, and turned that into Tyreek Hill and 2 future picks and the number 1 overall. So I still got up to the number 1 overall.
This is the wonderful thing about that trade is you feel like you just absolutely crushed that trade, and you feel really good about what you got. And I didn't
feel great about letting Eckler go, but I felt good
about the return
on
your
it.
investment. And for me, I fucking loved what I got out of it, and that was the way trading is supposed to go.
I will say one thing real quick. I was honestly a little surprised that you took Eckler because you are the lowest on.
Right.
On
I even
Eckler
talked to him
out
about
of the 3
it.
of us.
Yep.
For sure.
Yeah.
The thing that I like most about Eckler cares about fantasy football.
Right?
Yep.
Eckler gives a fuck about fantasy football.
A lot of players don't.
He wants to perform for fantasy
For
football
his fantasy fans.
because he knows that him being a pro fantasy football player
Yep.
has gotten him more fans than just being a football player.
And what we accepted was a counter from me. From his, because originally he had Hunter Renfrow included in it, and I swapped that for Darnell Mooney. I asked him, like, hey, I'll do it, but I want to move Renfrow out and give you Darnell Mooney.
Right.
Yeah. And we both felt good about that change. I felt better about having Mooney than Renfrow, and you felt better about having Renfrow than Mooney. And fucking right, man. That's the way to go. That's exactly what we're talking about in terms of fuck ADP. Go for the player that you like.
Yep.
And
that's go ahead.
No, you're good.
Oh,
Go ahead.
I was going to say that's the big difference between fantasy and dynasty and redraft. Because once you're done with your draft, then you get into your waiver wire.
Right.
And how do you want to run that?
Right. Your free agency is a totally separate aspect of this.
But real quick, before we jump into free agency stuff, once you know where you're drafting in a draft, especially if this is like one of the first couple of years that you're doing it, mock draft from the position that you are drafting from.
Yeah.
No, it will not be exactly the same as how your draft falls out.
Because there's always wild cards in your draft.
Exactly. But it'll give you an idea of the type of players that are going to be available when you roll around. And you can change things up. You can go wide receiver heavy. You can go running back heavy at the beginning. And you can see how your team lines up at the end of each draft.
and
in a
we'll
mock
get it-
draft, and you can kind of work your way and figure out how you want to mold it, and that helps give you an idea
Yeah,
to
absolutely.
not just be like, oh wait, I don't really know who I should draft here because I don't really know who I'll end up with next.
And this
Right.
year, I have the glorious, glorious honor of drafting one spot in front of
I know it really
Rich.
actually pisses me off.
So-
I'm actually super upset because
I get whoever I want in the first before he gets to him.
Right,
yeah.
And then his keeper is taking up his second round because mine is Javonte Williams and Deebo Samuel, which I get
I
to
may
keep
actually
in the
change it. I may not actually keep him.
Najee.
Yeah, I may not actually keep Najee.
Who are you thinking about instead?
I may keep Ayuk and Lance.
Yeah,
I may also
that'd be a
keep
fun stack.
Lance and Thomas.
Thomas.
Really?
Yeah.
Michael Thomas?
Yeah.
Really?
Oh.
Yeah.
Ooh, this
They're
kid
both
over
late.
here.
They're both super late rounds.
I thought about changing out Debo for Justin Jefferson because I would keep Justin Jefferson. I think I got him in the second or third round, so he would have been a third or a fourth. But I'm like, no, I'm gonna keep Debo because I have him in the 11th.
You have the value of
the
him.
draft capital
Yeah.
that you have.
That's
based
the
off
point
of that.
about keeper is that you get some of these guys at a really equitable position, and now all of a sudden, Debo, who's going to
yeah.
be going in the second round,
And you
third
still
round this year.
could somehow come out with Justin Jefferson.
Right, and I still have I have my first, second, third, fourth, fifth, and my first time I miss it is the sixth where Javonte Williams at,
Right.
which, judging by Melvin Gordon keep getting hurt, probably gonna do pretty well.
Yeah, that's a tough one. I can't figure out that backfield.
Yeah.
I
Just let Javonte Williams do Javonte Williams shit.
exactly.
There's a reason I was so pissed in the NFL draft a year ago because fucking Broncos came up and took him.
Yeah, Broncos. Fuck the Broncos,
Fuck
right?
them.
Everybody. just
Let's
fuck the
ride.
Broncos. Let's ride.
Hey, look at my big old truck. They never fucking take off road. And you wore your jersey to your first practice, you fucking twat.
He is the worst. He's such a goober. Like he's
I'm gonna
always
do-
been a goober, but now he's not my goober.
What was
and
that
the thing-
TikTok? What was that TikTok that like God,
Oh
like it was
yeah, that
Well,
fucking cringy one.
yeah.
And then him leaving for the preseason game. Most players don't get photographed until they show up to the stadium. He has a photographer, he has a videographer all set up for as soon as he opens his front fucking door and walks out of his house.
Yep.
It's fucking so cringe.
Yes. He's just the worst. He
Yeah.
is a what's the corniest version? Okay, so if you're thinking of television, original programming, meaning Game of Thrones is like peak, Band of Brothers, HBO is peak television. What is the cringiest television?
Jersey Shore.
Okay, MTV.
Yes.
He is
Yeah.
the MTV
Yes.
of
100%.
of original programming.
Yes.
It is
Oh God.
clearly staged.
He's the
It is
Kardashians.
Clearly fake. He is the Kardashians. He is whatever
Yes.
channel has the
Yes.
Kardashians on.
I don't know.
Yes.
Amanda watches it, and I want to.
CW or I don't
No,
know.
I don't think.
No, I think that's giving CW
E?
too much negativity.
I-
Yeah, E. It feels like an E.
Actually, you know what? I'm pretty sure it's Hulu now. I'm
Babe.
pretty sure Hulu bought
Hulu.
the rights to Keeping Up with the Kardashians.
Amanda, if you're this is your test. If you're still listening, if not just the stop. What
She's
channel?
not.
What
Don't
channel?
admit it.
Oh,
Yeah, I
well,
see 0 viewers right now.
Oh,
That's okay. I mean, I see 130 viewers right now. No, we're not. You guys are just listening to
so
us.
free agency.
Yeah.
So there's a couple of different ways to go about when you're looking at free agency.
Right. So in Dynasty, free agency is a much smaller part of the game.
Correct.
Versus redraft is a major
Massive.
part of the game.
Massive. It's basically your weekly.
Right.
You're making moves on a regular basis. Also,
Absolutely.
don't be in a league that has a
Cap.
limit, a cap limit on how many moves you can make on a season because that's garbage.
you're right. Hulu.
Yeah.
Yep.
Yeah. So there's free agent acquisition bucks.
Yep. So
Which-
Fab, which is
Yes.
commonly known as Fab.
It's an added bonus to redraft
Yeah.
because generally your redraft, anytime you are going in to look at your the free agents that are available,
Yeah.
whoever is in last place will have first dibs when it comes to
Reverse order of standing.
picking somebody up. So that works well, except for the fact that anytime if the person in first place has a major injury,
Yeah.
Sorry.
you just got like a cum shot to the face.
Yeah, it was. I borrowed a pen from Deshaun Watson, and then all of a sudden he's fucking blue in my face. So anyway.
Anyways, so just the reverse order setup. You have whoever's in 10th place or 12th place, however 14th place, however many people you have in your league.
Right.
They would have first dibs on any player that was available. So if all of a sudden somebody blew up in a week, they'd be like, oh, hey, I'm going to take that player, and they're going to get them.
And they get all of their players they pick,
Correct.
right? It's not just the first player they pick. So if they want 3 players, they're going to get all 3 of those players.
Well, the way it's actually supposed
Or
to
is
be
it
set
round
up,
1?
it is round 1. So,
Yeah,
okay.
So if that person takes that in round 1,
Yep.
then the next person on that list.
Waiver is 101,
Yes.
201, 301.
Correct.
Right. Okay.
Yeah.
Okay.
So, but with a fab system, you bid on the player.
right.
So
you start with a budget.
yeah, you start. So we'll just say $100. That's the general rule.
Right.
Yeah.
You get $100 throughout the season. You can use that. You could use that all week 1.
Right.
But then the issue with that is then you have nothing the rest of the season.
Right.
So a lot of the times when you're doing stuff like that, unless there's a major player that becomes available,
Yeah.
you're not gonna.
This is weird. I don't.
Oh my fucking god! What the happened to your eye?
Do people not do that? I do that all the time, and apparently my wife hates it.
We
So
flip your eyelid inside out.
a couple years ago,
Yeah.
Elijah Mitchell
Yes.
Yeah.
didn't like he wasn't he was a 6th round pick,
Yeah.
and then all of a sudden he blew up, and because everybody else on the 49ers got hurt.
Yeah.
Right.
He blew up, and they were like, "Oh, hey, he's going to be our starting running back now."
Yeah.
So, like week 3 of the season, he became this huge acquisition
Right.
to take on. If you're in 2nd or 3rd place or 1st place,
You have no shot.
you have no shot if you're not in a fab.
Yeah.
But if you're in a fab, you could be like, "Hey, I'm willing to put $60 on
Right.
this player."
Right.
Now, you could be the only person that put money on that, and you'd
still
be
cost yourself $60.
Yeah, it's still going to cost you $60. The next closest may be
15.
maybe, yeah.
Yeah, so there have been in Fab is often in dynasty leagues there are 2 Fab periods. There is off season and in
season, yeah.
And so this year I spent a lot of my off season Fab on one player, and I forget who it was, but one player came available. Julio. And I spent is that who it was?
Yeah, I think so.
I don't remember, but it doesn't matter. I spent a
look.
lot of my off-season Fab on one player with the expectation that in season I'll have a whole new $100 to spend. So, knowing the rules, knowing what your budget is, and then utilizing that in the right way.
Real quick.
Yeah.
Blizzard order. Frodo, what do you want for a Blizzard?
Like from Dairy Queen?
Yeah.
Brownie.
Brownie?
Yeah. Vanilla brownie.
Ooh,
Extra brownie.
We should brownie, extra brownie. That sounds good,
Yeah.
actually.
Vanilla ice cream with extra brownie.
Yeah,
That's-
right. I'm gonna do an Oreo.
Or Oreos in there too.
Okay. Anyways, you guys can go. I'll get the Blizzard order.
Okay.
going.
Okay, so I didn't know if you were just fucking with us. Like,
No.
I
Is
there an Oreo blizzard coming to my face right now?
Yes.
Oh
Give
my
me a minute.
God.
I got a call, so I stopped it and was like, "What's up? Still podcasting?" And they were like, "What kind of Blizzard?" So
Fuck yeah.
Let's see.
Yeah, you guys should get married. If you're not married, you should get married and have a wife that will be blizzards.
Where is?
So now we got to get through the fucking show so
Yeah.
that we can eat a blizzard because you guys don't want to watch me eat a fucking pile of white ice cream. In terms of free agency, their reverse order of standings is the most common. Free agency acquisition budget is Fab And then also knowing what your roster layout is. Like, do you have just bench spots, 4 or 5 bench spots, or do you have IR spots? Because we didn't introduce IR to our league for a couple of years. So now all of a sudden, if you draft Michael Thomas, or if you keep Michael Thomas and he goes down,
I literally kept Michael Thomas all of last year.
Yep.
In hopes that he would come back at some point.
Right. And I picked up somebody last year and put him in my IR spot because he was on the free agent or the waiver wire. And so here's my question to you guys, because there's a lot of talk about how stashing is bad, and I don't necessarily understand. And I had the same opinion of camping in Warzone, where
James Conner is what you shot your load on.
I did shoot my load on James Conner.
That's true.
So all over his face. So in Warzone, you're in the first circle, and you are just anchored in at Grandma's house with claymores and rocket launchers and shotguns. That's fucking camping.
That's
and
camping.
Shit.
Yeah.
Now, the final circle, and now all of a sudden you've got shotguns and SMGs and maybe claymores or spicy pancakes. Like, that's camping, but at the right time. Right? So my point is, like, if you pick up a person who is on IR and you have an empty IR spot, is it not strategic to pick him up off the waiver wire for nothing, Julio Jones, for example, last year, and throw him into your IR, stash him there, and hope that something good happens, and then pick him up?
I will pretty much always draft somebody who is currently on IR and immediately put them into my IR spot.
And then pick somebody else up off the waiver.
Exactly. There's a couple of reasons behind that. One, it gives me flexibility if something happens.
Yep.
2, I can then make adjustments if I need to.
Right.
And make a trade if I want to,
Right.
or like a 1-for-2 type thing.
Right.
Or I can just chill with that one empty spot, and I can make moves as I need to going through week 1 into week 2 type thing. But I pretty much always draft somebody, such as last year,
Right.
Michael Thomas.
Right.
He was on IR. I drafted him, and I kept him literally all season.
Yeah, exactly. And by the way, James Conner is the running back for the Arizona Cardinals, actually. And, I didn't actually blow
Shoot
my
your
load
load?
on him. I metaphorically blew my load on him.
Maybe you should have.
Your grandma's awesome. Shut up, dude. Like, why you gotta question your grandma's and my, relationship? I think we're friendly, and I think that's enough. I love your family. I love your family so much. I love them so much.
What about Ashley's mom?
I love your family so much. Anyway, so what we got going on is so you want to pay attention to your waiver wire. You want to pay attention to what while you're drafting. You want to pay attention to bye weeks. I'm not the guy that cares about bye weeks while I'm drafting.
That's because you're ADHD and your
Fucking-
team changes 37 times before any bye weeks start.
I cannot pay attention to week 7 because I'm not gonna have the same team by week 7.
No.
But
You're not gonna have the same team by week 1.
exactly. So there's a really strong chance of that. So drafting your players, paying attention to their. What I typically do is I like to draft my team, and then I will look at their bye weeks, and adjust them from there. And we make so many moves during our podcast. Like, we're all talking about shit, and then every week I get Hobbit's Revenge.
It triggers me like
Yep, I
I
know.
need to check, and there's a player that I think
Right.
should be on my team.
Right?
What I like to do when it comes to
Touch penises.
when it comes to
Faces?
drafting players,
Just a
I
lot of
will
penis
draft
talk.
my overall starting lineup.
Yep.
And then as I'm filling in those other positions, I try and look and be like, oh, hey, both of my wide receivers here have a week 8 bye. Let's not draft another wide receiver that has a week 8 bye. So if I'm looking at 2 different players, that may be the deciding factor.
Yeah.
Right. That'll be a split decision between a late round pick.
Correct.
But not necessarily
I could
the
care less in
primary
the first
factor.
8 rounds.
Yep.
If I'm looking at both like Cooper Kupp and Justin Jefferson, like if I somehow was able to get both of those
In the second round.
in the second round in the same draft.
Say you were going 0 RB and you went wide receiver.
Yeah.
And your first wide receiver.
I would not care that both of them had the same bye week.
Because you're going to get so many more points. And you know what?
Yeah.
You could fill someone in, and if you lose that week, okay.
Yeah. Yeah. 100%. So bye weeks are important, but they're not important until later. Don't worry about them until later. So trading is one of my favorite aspects of the game, right?
Yeah.
Like, everybody knows that if you've been watching our podcast, like, this is my shit. This is my jam.
Scott's
is my
a trade
stuff.
whore.
I am a trade whore. Like, I will
If
bend
you offer
over.
him a trade, he will figure out a way to make this trade happen.
Absolutely will. I love trading. It's
Because
more fun than winning.
Normally for him, it's just throwing it out there and trying to get bait. Trying to make something happen.
I am the masturbator.
Masturbator.
He gets so bored with his team, even if it's like the most stacked team.
By far the most
he could be
transactions.
scoring
in the
200
league.
points every week, and Scott's like, I need to change this team up.
I need to upgrade. But
I
don't
forget
know.
which one. It's kept stats, like how many transactions, and Scott's always up there. Like I'm up there too, just because I am moving players in and out. But Rich doesn't move that many.
Hold on. Did you give his wife my wife crabs?
I gave his wife crabs.
Oh, okay, cool. We're good then. All right.
Yeah.
Yeah, we're good.
I don't want to
I
offend
mean,
the whole.
in all fairness, I believe he gave my wife and you crabs.
Yes.
Yeah, but I already had crabs, so it's like, I mean, like that's just
I don't want to cut in.
cross-pollination,
I don't want
if
to
you
cut
will.
in the OnlyFans for your wife.
Nice. So trading is the shit, right? Like, so, and depending on what type of league you're in, it depends on the kind of trades that you're gonna make. In Dynasty, trades are more fun for me because you get to make, you get to add in draft picks. You get to add in players that are not normally consequential to you because the benches are so deep that all the good players are on a bench at least.
Yeah.
So in that regard, I like Dynasty the best. But in terms of redraft, trading is still very much alive. And in draft trading is available, in season trading is available. And you should take advantage of all of that stuff if you think you can get a value out of something. If you want to trade up in the third round, and all you have to do is trade back in the third round and trade back in the sixth round, fucking take that shot. Why not? You know, the worst thing somebody can tell you is no. So throw the trades out there.
No, the
make
worst
some
thing
action.
is just to not respond at all.
The worst thing is to leave you on red.
Yeah.
Yes, absolutely. Or if somebody else was to give your wife crabs, that might be the worst thing.
The worst thing is someone who's inactive and leaves players on bye weeks fucking in their and just
Don't be that person.
Oh, my wife made me blush. So anyways, I don't know what to say. Somebody else say something funny.
what she made you blush about?
It was nothing funny. It was just something sweet. She enjoys my smile, and I don't smile very often. So Amanda's back in though, and she says, "Yay sports." She's back.
Yay sports.
Yay sports.
Yay.
Not your Amanda. Your Amanda left.
Oh.
So I've touched you a lot during this. Oh, that's very soft. Thank you. It's beard oil. I take care of my beard.
Yeah, we're not getting close because it's like Velcro. And
Yeah, right. No. We do that. There's not enough oil in the world to detach our faces from each other.
This is a very weird podcast.
This is the one place I can actually grow hair besides actually the back of my knee. I don't know why, but
I am not hairy in general at all, except for my face, and it just grows obscenely fast.
You know what? What the fuck? You have like hardly any hair on your arms, but all of it is on your head. What the fuck?
I'll take that.
what do you guys sporting on your arms? You got like a reasonable bush on
Yeah.
your arm bush.
I've never ever had arm hair.
I'm in between both of you guys as far as arm bush goes. Like I don't chest hair. Like what do you guys?
None.
You got a bush?
None.
Like none? Like
None.
naturally
I got some.
none?
None.
Really? Okay, so I've got
Yeah.
I've got like
I'm not
I shave
right here. There's some.
I do sort of a manscape on the outside. Call it the oblique shave. But in the center I keep it nice and trimmed. But as far as back of my knees, man. Don't worry about it.
So when you run, does it like trail back like a kite
no,
trail or?
it tickles quite a bit. Like I'm a very ticklish person, and so the back of my knees is fucking like. That's why I giggle when I
Please
play.
grow it out and put beads on it like Bo Derek.
I've been to Jamaica. Check out my knees.
Your wife says Brazil is where it's at.
Yeah. Oof.
So she wants it like completely, just
Scorched earth.
hardwood, not shag. Okay. All right, I'll keep that in mind. I would wax, sweetheart, hold on. Let's bring this in tight. You and me, right here. Don't look. You look that way, because you're in it. I'd wax my butthole for you. I love you. That's how much I love you.
Thank you.
Okay.
Would you bleach it too?
I think that goes in. I think that
It doesn't go in your asshole.
No. I think that goes in hand with waxing your butthole.
No, I think it's a different charge.
It's a totally different thing.
Yeah.
Oh my god, I had no
Waxing
idea.
just takes care of the hair.
Okay.
It makes
Hair-
your chocolate
I thought you said
starfish
air.
white chocolate.
I was like, no, I don't think it sucks the air out of you.
No.
Like, dude, it's like,
No.
fart you. Like,
the point is, I'll back to I guess trading before we go off to is don't get draft locked. Like you lock on like, oh, I draft this guy at this round. Like I have to keep him even though he's not performing very well.
yeah.
Don't be afraid to cut ties with him.
Yeah.
Like
We have
crabs.
not had enough to drink. And Naked Mole Rat is, by the way, what I got going on down here if I wax it all off.
Is it look
Which
as
actually
angry?
checks out.
Like,
Does it look like an
mole rats look angry.
Okay, maybe they do. Maybe it's Tommy Lee, by the way. No, wait, no, never mind. We don't need to talk about Tommy
We
Lee's
were already
dick.
there today.
Is that the name of the podcast? Is Tommy Lee's third
Tommy
leg?
Lee's pubes.
Your playoff format.
Yeah.
If you're in a league that doesn't start, well, this where it's a little different because we have an extra game.
Yep.
If you are in a league that is playing into the and your championship has not been done before the
Right.
last week or 2 weeks of the league, get out of it. Because all you're doing is all the really top players are probably on better teams.
Right.
And you know what they do? They rest their players.
Right.
Who wants to go into, missing their starting wide receiver, running back, and quarterback?
Yeah. The other thing is to make sure that your league settings are set up so that way you have
One versus
exactly. One versus whoever the last is, or if you're first and second or first team,
first two
has
get a bye or whatever. Yeah.
Make sure it's set up to where it's whoever's currently playing against the bottom tier. So it's
The
best
proper
against the
round-
worst. The
proper
way it's
round
supposed
robin,
to be.
yeah.
Because for whatever reason, a lot of the times it's one against like
Four.
three or
Yeah,
four.
yeah,
It's stupid.
Because that's not how the NFL does it. That's not how fantasy leagues should do it. And anyone they're like, oh no, yeah, we're gonna do that. That's
Yeah, and like we have in our main league, it's a 10-team league, so it's not great. It's not crazy or anything, but we have 6 playoff spots. 1 and 2 get a first round bye. So that's the
Yep.
benefit of finishing first or second.
yeah.
You get a nice easy rest week where you don't have to do anything. You don't have to worry about nothing.
That's the only time as a dude if you finish first is a good thing.
Yeah, exactly. I mean, even finishing second though is a good thing in that one.
Yes. Well, in life it's also pretty good.
Yeah, it's true.
Unless it's running from a bear, and then it's coming in second. It's usually not good.
And so it just depends on how you have your league set up as far as how many playoff spots. I mean,
How
a lot
many
of
rounds?
times if you only have 10 teams, you could do a 4-team playoff,
Yeah.
but then you're only going to
The
have
6 teams more fun.
you're only going to have 2 weeks of playoffs.
Yeah.
So that's the benefit of having a 6-team playoff is you can have a 3-week playoff setup.
and you're still playing in games where everyone's still competing for.
Yeah, even at the end, most of the time there's still at least one team that's like in 7th or 8th that still has a chance to make the playoffs.
Yeah. Play through, even if you're losing season, don't give up. Just keep playing. On trades, real quick, if you're in a league and your commissioner or anyone does vetoes, fuck them, get out.
True.
Because unless it's clear-cut collusion, if you and I make a trade, that's the trade.
Right.
And it shouldn't have like some like voting period or any of that bullshit.
Yep. We had veto options in one of our leagues in our main league for a long time.
Yeah.
We finally got rid of it completely to where we didn't have a veto option, and so trades were immediate.
Your least favorite thing on the.
Damn it. It's Amanda's fault, not mine. There you go. I gave you a small one though. I did give you a small one.
I have a dog in my crotch.
Yeah, you do.
Also,
Yeah, you do.
not crab.
Not crabs.
No.
No, definitely crabs.
No.
He's definitely got crabs.
Those are funner to
All right.
eat.
So what do we got here? Let's
Fucking
go ahead and
hate you.
turn you guys around. Guys, what's up?
Hey.
Oh, that's just Ashley's
Don't
boobs.
show her
Yeah.
stain on her shirt. Yeah,
Trust me, anyone watching wasn't looking at a stain.
Yeah, it's just Lonnie right now. So, all right, let's go back over here.
And
Frodo, you're supposed to make a mess
oh, I'm sorry.
Glass.
God damn it, Frodo! Don't make a mess on my wife.
of this. You gave her crabs and some white spinach.
Oh, that's got to
Classic.
get down a little bit.
Classic. All right, so we're about to have a rum shot followed by a blizzard.
All right.
So that's not the worst taster in the world. All right.
Welcome.
Um,
Also, I'm pretty sure
what? That's a thing.
you
They
know how
didn't.
running these are? We've been
Oh yeah, that's
talking
true. Oh yeah, what's going on here? All right.
in the-
That's
All right.
Why am I friends with you?
Because
You're welcome.
you're a glutton for punishment. All right, so
Thank you.
Amanda, this is for Amanda.
I
So
only like your wife.
I know you do. I know.
I'm like
All
this
right.
wife too.
Yeah.
Uh,
All right,
Cheers.
cheers.
I fucking hate
All right.
you.
Ashley says hi to, and Lonnie says hi to Amanda,
Later.
and this is for you, Amanda. Cheers.
Amanda, you can have mine. I don't want it.
All right. So anyway, what are you guys talking about? I don't know. Quinn Sully. She's good. Whatever.
okay, bye.
Okay, bye.
case of ice cream.
Yeah, case with us. There you go. All right. So anyway, you guys, what were you guys talking about? I left. Platforms.
We got on the point. If your commissioner or league has vetoes in it for trades, get out.
Oh yeah, yeah. Fucking vetoes are the worst. All right. So
We covered
veto-
playoff format also.
vetoes are
Unusable.
unusable. They should be. A bad trade does not qualify for a veto. You need to have almost irrefutable proof that somebody has collusion. Is that the only reason? I mean, basically, if somebody
because trade raping would be vetoed if it.
or if there's some like maybe not direct collusion where somebody's just like, I'm done with this league. I'm gonna dump all my good
Yeah, you
players in
can't- you
week
can't-
15.
Yeah.
Performance dump.
Yeah, performance stuff. Thank you.
And that's where a commissioner has to step in, like, hey, these players are locked. They'll get raffled off after the league.
Yeah, and it's important for the integrity of the league to maintain some of that stuff.
Yeah.
So we've talked about a bunch of this stuff. I think sort of the last couple of things, so money systems. Yahoo, that's one of the best things about Yahoo is you have a built-in payment system where you send them your $10 and then however you decide to pay it out, that's how they pay it out. Exactly as is. There's no fees, there's no nothing, there's no bullshit. It's just they keep your money for the year and then at the end of the football season, you get it back.
Right.
Sleeper doesn't have that, so we've been using for Dynasty, we've done it since day one.
Yep.
And we just transitioned to it this year is because no one likes
I
chasing
think
payments.
2 years ago I did League Safe, but Todd fucking threw up a fit about it because
So-
there's a fucking like 4% in.
League Safe is it's a no hassle. You put the link, you go in to pay, and then at the end of the year you can just send it out. It's so much easier than trying to chase people down.
Right.
And this year, because I had to chase, I was pretty flexible last year, and we had a guy that I had to cover it. so that way we could pay out everyone's actual winnings. And
every commissioner in the history of
has had
fantasy
to
football has
chase
had
it.
to cover that.
So,
Or chase
yeah.
it down.
So now, this year, I just put it out there today, is if you don't have your league dues in Dynasty, it's $25. If you don't have them paid by the end of week 1,
Yeah, and we don't even have like a crazy amount. Like some leagues
Yeah.
are like $250 for a buy,
$500
for
yeah.
a buy-in.
Yeah,
Right.
You lose you forfeit your first round pick in the rookie draft the next year, and that will get raffled, like randomized.
Yeah. Okay. So and what I did
If
in
that
our
comes down to
keeper league, which is essentially a redraft league without the top end players, is I removed your first round pick. Now we had originally talked about taking away an actual keeper, but I realized that could be a strategic move for somebody to get rid of their keeper in this year because a lot of the keepers are going back into the pool this year. So I just removed your first round pick this year.
Yeah.
If you don't pay on time, which this year, because we're doing that super league again, I gave everybody until the start
three.
of week 3.
I already got.
I know you did.
I was like, fuck this shit.
And you notice you paid for my my NFL ticket there to go to the 49ers game.
Yeah.
And I didn't have money to pay that, but I did find the money to pay the league. So anywho, I didn't want to risk a draft pick. Is all.
It's not like I don't know where you're going to be on December
Right.
4th.
Right. So anyway, so the point is that
How much anal is worth $145?
How much anal?
Yeah.
I don't know. 2 quarters? Like so half your dick?
Oh, I thought you were talking about 2 quarters of football. Like that's fucking 30 minutes, dude. I don't have that endurance.
So that's the best way. The best way that we know how to do it is league safe. There are other ways to do it. There's always the cash way to do it. I hate it. It's never been. Every time we've done a cash deal, I have lost money on fantasy football because of that. Because as the
Well,
commissioner,
also you're ADHD, and you went, oh hey, look, $100.
also that. So you wanna really pay attention to that. I really suggest league safe, or if you're on Yahoo, just have it all done through the Yahoo. The thing that I like about Yahoo is all has to be done before you draft.
You
Meaning
can't even draft.
You can't
Like,
access your draft.
if you have one team that hasn't done it, it fucks up everybody's draft.
Right.
And so then everybody's pissed off at that one
Yeah.
person.
And so then we guilt shame them
Yes.
into either paying their bill or suicide. But that's only happened like twice. So not a big deal at all.
You're jealous on both accounts.
Solid joke. Solid joke.
Noise. All right. So anyway, if you guys are wondering, I have a mental illness and it's depression.
And we,
But it's
as
manageable.
one,
But it's
as
manageable.
his best friend and a good friend, we show our love by being dark and fucking horrible.
And hand me
We-
the pistol
yeah,
while I'm
yeah,
standing
we-
on the chair with a noose
Yeah.
around my neck.
Yeah, except you're not getting a
We
bullet.
show our support by degrading him.
Come on, you gotta get to the balls for the bullet.
All right. So
Normally we just tell him don't be a bitch. But
don't be a bitch. What team should you vote for? What team has the best odds of winning in your? What team? Okay, good question. What team is the favorite for winning the Super Bowl this year?
Okay, I can't go with my bet because I just bet on the Dolphins.
it has the Bills. I mean,
No homers. No homers.
The Bills. Now,
No,
the only way that changes is if the Dolphins somehow dethrone them in that division, which
Yeah.
is a big task to do.
It's a big task. Yeah.
But I'd have to say the top 3 in the AFC, Chargers, Bills are number 1. And, I mean, the Chiefs are still right there, but Broncos probably aren't far behind.
This is the worst thing I'm ever gonna say on the internet, and I once called you, cunt licking ass drip.
You said that in the intro.
Broncos. I think the Broncos have the strongest defense with the strongest offense.
honestly, in my in my.
I swear to God, if you say the 49ers, I'm
No,
going to punch you right in the
I'm not.
I'm going to punch him right in the nose.
No, I'm not. I'm talking AFC here.
Okay.
If it's not the Bills, then I think it's the Chargers.
Okay.
Like
all right.
I think that it's gonna be one of those two teams
Bills
representing.
or Chargers.
Yes.
Ooh,
Now,
maybe that's what we should do. Is we should do a pick 2.
I think that the Ravens have a shot, because if Lamar Jackson doesn't get his deal done by week 1, I think he's gonna be on this like huge like revenge
Ball
tour.
out, like,
hey, I'm gonna get fucking paid now.
Right.
He's like, I'm gonna prove as to why you should have paid me before this season type thing.
Imagine a scenario where Tua doesn't perform. They don't get a contract for Lamar Jackson. Dolphins trade Tua and a pick for Lamar Jackson.
That doesn't happen.
I don't like to talk
that
about
too much
guys
speed
not
on one team?
performing because it hits a little close to home.
See, I look at this as like one of those things like Lamar Jackson, I think this year, for whatever reason, I haven't been a huge fan of Lamar Jackson.
Right.
I think this year Lamar Jackson's going to fucking kill it.
Yeah.
Like, I think he's going to be like,
Just narratively speaking,
Yes.
you think that he's got all the
I think he's front runner MVP, like contention. I think he's going to be out there to be like,
Yeah.
Now, given that may not be purely off of passing, but
Yeah. Right. Oh, sure. Yeah.
but that's not who Lamar is.
Right.
Lamar's
he's
threat,
the number one running back on the
Lamar's
team.
threat is that he can run the ball at any point. He can smash anybody on the field at any point.
Right,
Or
like me.
he can make not quite. Or he can make them miss as well.
Right.
And I think that with that and the passing, I think they'll work on it this year, whereas last year they didn't really work on it.
Let's do this. Let's do a season-long bet for next episode. Go ahead and write this down. We're going to do a season-long bet for number one position or number one player at every position. So, and the person who gets it most right by percentage
So
wins.
should we do a top 3 then? Top 3 for each position?
Oh, you want to do that?
QB, wide receiver, running back,
Are
tight
we
end.
doing weighted top 3 or are we doing top 3? Meaning,
Top 3.
We can
So-
do that right now.
oh, I can't do that right now. I'm too drunk.
Yeah, it's all right. We'll work on it.
I haven't
through it
fucking
here.
eaten anything
But
at all today, and I've had a lot of
So we'll
alcohol.
pick our top 3. Who you think is going to be first, second, finish first, second, third. So
Right.
closest to those finishes
Yep.
end of the season.
Okay.
Okay.
So we will do running back, wide receiver, quarterback, wide receiver, running back, tight end.
Okay.
We're not going to go outside of that at all.
Okay.
Obviously, our tight ends are probably going to be super similar. I bet our wide receivers vary quite a bit. I bet our running backs vary quite a bit. We'll probably each have one running back.
I just thought of something coincidental. Is the AFC North the most rapey assault division? Because if you think about it, they have Deshaun
in
Watson.
that division anymore.
Deshaun Watson is in there.
Very rapey.
Big Ben.
If anybody is rapey, it's
Big Ben was there. Ray Rice was there.
Yeah,
Kareem
they're-
Hunt's there.
they're all. There's a lot of like. If you were to bring a black light to the AFC North, it would be glowing. Yeah. Okay. All right, so I've got top 3 at each position for next week's episode. Best practices. Finally, we need to talk about
Amanda,
research.
the Bills has the best chance on paper
Bills
currently.
for sure. Bills.
Yeah.
So put
Yeah.
all your money on the Bills.
Yeah,
I would-
if you're gonna go out and put $20 on a team, put it on the Bills.
Yep.
If you want a dart throw out of nowhere, put it
Yeah.
on the Vikings.
You think the Vikings?
Dart throw.
Who would you put it on? Don't be a homer.
I have to. A dart throw, they have the most
the
potential.
Dolphins-
I was
the
gonna
Dolphins are a dart
say
throw.
the Dolphins. I was
The
gonna
Dolphins
say,
are a dart
I want
throw.
to be fair. I was
Yeah.
going to say the Dolphins.
But you can't pick your team. Put a dart throw on somebody else. NFC team. Win it all.
NFC team, win it all.
I would say the Packers, but I've already chosen the Dolphins.
Eagles.
Eagle. I like
Ooh.
it. That's a good call.
Shit, that's a good one. All right, fist bump for that. All right. So,
But honestly, the Dolphins are the dark horse in the AFC.
they're
True.
the best dark
If
horse.
Tua takes a step, I was listening to an interview from the Tampa Bay beat writer today. He was talking. He was on an interview
Tampa
for
Bay Dolphins.
No, he's there for covering Brady and stuff and all their defense. He was talking about their joint practice and their game, and they said if Tua can take a step up, these receivers are going to be a massive issue. They gave a huge issue in the practice to all their DBs. They could not cover them. It's too much speed to be accounted for.
It is. There's a lot of speed on the Dolphins.
I'm not on camera right now, but I'm super drunk, guys. You guys might have to carry the rest of the podcast.
So, I agree.
But it all hinges on Tua.
because of the fact that you are in the same division as the Bills, which on paper everybody says the Bills are the number one team in the AFC.
They were my Super Bowl pick last year.
Right. And saying that they're not going to make it, especially when they're talking about bringing OBJ in as well.
Yeah.
Right, all right.
You bring Von Miller in as a pass rusher. They have everything on paper to do what they need to do to win
Right.
in the AFC. So outside of that, plus you have an NFC North that's a pretty competitive division in general as well.
Yeah, right.
And AFC West.
Correct. So there's not a lot of extra spots available for the Dolphins to drop into because everybody expects at least one extra team to come from the AFC West, if not two.
There's probably going to be 2 teams from the AFC West. I think 2 teams from AFC East. One probably from the AFC North.
Right, but that's saying that both the Bengals and the Ravens don't do well this year.
I say that they could, and then you're the Colts probably from the AFC South.
Right. So, but that's the thing is it's a huge toss up because you have these 2 fairly stacked divisions that are competing for the wild card spots.
I think the issue with some of those really super stacked divisions like the AFC West, they're going to cannibalize each other.
They will. And the fact that they're going
they could
against
miss.
the NFC West.
You could only have one team come out because of how tough the division is.
Yeah.
They
could split
knock
all
each
of
other
their
out.
games.
Yeah.
Right,
So
right.
it'll be interesting to see, but yeah, try not to be a homer, but you all have to see it in the regular season. And the Dolphins have it early because they play the Bills early.
I will be surprised if the Bills are not the number 1 seed in the AFC.
In the AFC.
Because of the AFC West going against all of the AFC West
Right,
teams.
they're going to cannibalize themselves.
I think we split the series with the Bills. We haven't beat the Bills in the last couple of years, and they've put like 40
But
points plus
I think
on
the Bills
us.
beat both the Patriots and the Jets both times.
Oh, Dolphins
So
will beat
that's
both
that's
each of them.
that's 5 wins based off of that.
Yeah.
Whereas the AFC West, it could be split all the way down.
The Dolphins play, I think, what is Patriots, Ravens, Bengals, Bills. If they can get out at 3-1 and keep the Bills game fairly close,
Yeah. And they may.
It'll be, if it's 2-2, it'll be great.
Right.
It'll be a great start. Depending on how they win. If they're putting up points, you're going
Right.
to have a lot of the, if they go to the Bills, it comes out shoot at like
Bills
34-30.
start the season against LA.
Chargers,
Against the Rams.
That's
They start the season against the Rams.
Yikes. That'll be a fun game.
That's the one. That's like one of the couple of games that I think that they could easily lose.
Right.
Yeah, it's Patriots in Miami.
Yeah,
That's always a fucking loss.
it's
for the
really
Patriots.
it's really a bummer that that's right at the beginning of the season when the Patriots are normally bad anyways.
They usually flip flop the location, so it's Patriots at home, early was up in Foxborough, and then the late game was in Miami.
Right.
So this year we're gonna have to go up in December or January and play
Yeah.
the Patriots.
So, Frodo, where do you do most of your research as far as looking at players and that sort of thing?
I am too drunk for this.
I know. Go away.
Go away.
I've got the camera on you guys. I'm going to let you guys take this for a moment. I'm going to go out and take a little bit of fresh air and let you guys
Go
handle
for
it
it.
from here.
Okay. Fantasy footballers got us into what we're doing now, which is
True.
just this little podcast. And they're fantastic. PFF, I mean, the NFL relies on them for a lot of the stuff. They're great for statistical and like forecasting.
The NFL uses them for the on-screen like data.
Yeah. They're fantastic. I used to do what's the dude from ESPN, bald-headed. He's a Jets homer. Or Washington. He's a Washington fan. Redskins fan. Sorry, Commanders.
I don't know who you're talking about. right now.
Matthew Berry.
Matthew Barrett. Yep.
I used to use him, but not so much anymore. Honestly, it's the fantasy footballers, PFF, and Pat McAfee.
Yeah, that's true.
I love Pat McAfee in general. He's just fucking awesome, dude.
Yeah, I watch most of Pat McAfee pretty much every day, just in the sense that it is
Entertaining.
It's entertaining. It is a normal guy's. Obviously, he came from the NFL as a punter, but it is a normal group of guys talking about football.
Yeah.
So it's not a narrative driven. It's an entertainment more than anything else. Whereas like Colin Cowherd, his views on each team or player that he's talking about changes on a week-to-week basis.
Yeah. Any of the big, they all sell negative shit.
Yeah.
So like you watch, they all want that. I think that's why they're hard to do it, because that hearing negative stuff sells. Like blood, gore sells in the news. Like if it bleeds, it leads.
Yeah. Whereas like with Pat McAfee, obviously you have an Indy fan, you have a Green Bay fan, you have a Patriots fan, and a Steelers fan,
and a Dolphins fan
as the four main guys.
Well, the Dolphins was a Canadian who had to go back.
Right.
Yeah.
So the four main guys, you've got Steelers, Patriots, Green Bay, and Indy. But it gives you a nice balance overall where they are not like all completely one-sided on anybody. They talk shit to everybody, which is super entertaining in my thought process, because if you talk shit, I'm always willing to listen. But outside of that, I use Fantasy Pros pretty much all the time when I'm like looking at like
they're good too, yeah.
Player versus player type thing, deciding who to start and whatnot. And then the last thing is, as a commissioner, what are some things that are your like best tips?
Be transparent and be fair. It is not your decision. It is the league's decision on 99.9% of things. Always put it up to a league vote. So on Sleeper, you can create the polls. I want the majority. If they go with them, if there's majority rules, that's where you go. That's making changes, and sometimes on that side, it's like, no, this is how we're going to set up the league. But still, you, as a good commissioner, you want to get voices from everyone, because you're playing. It's all one big family kind of thing.
Right.
You want them to voice their opinion. If there's a disagreement, even in the league, you can put that to a vote. If like, hey, this person, I didn't want to draft this person. I meant to do it. And if it's a clear mistake, absolutely you can back it out.
Correct.
If it's just like someone regretting that
hey, I accidentally clicked drop on this player, can you please revert it?
Yeah. If you draft a player like, oh, I didn't really mean to draft him there a couple rounds before. Sorry, that is your mistake. Like you control your draft.
Right.
I'm not going to reverse it there. You live with your mistakes. So, making sure players are active.
Correct.
And weeding out the ones that aren't. In our group, we got rid of that one. So we got active players.
Yep.
Sometimes overly active players, but
you want to make sure that you have teams that are actively putting in a lineup, whether they're paying attention fully. That is what it is. But at least make sure you have a fully rostered lineup, so you don't have players that are on bye or players that are injured in your starting lineup that's just giving somebody a win.
Right, and
especially towards the end of the season.
And say someone's on like vacation, like, and you're away from any type of like Wi-Fi or anything like that. Then the commission can step in and be like, okay, I know he's gone. This player got injured in camp or in practice this week. He's not available to see. I'll go in and move that on a 1 week basis, if that's the case. But otherwise, you keep hands off. You're there just as a parent. Watch people fail, watch people win, and go from there.
As Scott said at one point, You are there to have the ultimate power, but not use it.
Yep.
Right. As far as commissioner rules go,
Yep.
yeah,
With
you don't want to like fucking.
Great power comes great responsibility.
Right. I feel like I've done a pretty good job in one shitty, which is to not be there.
Yep.
I never have a vote
You're
in
there
the
to
polls.
you're there to pose the questions and
Yep.
give the options to people,
Yep.
but you don't overtly like say, "Hey, this is what we're gonna do."
Right. Until it came to switching to sleeper. Actually.
Yeah. Where
That
you
was,
just were like, you know what, this is just the better route to go.
I was just tired of fucking putting it to vote every year because
Yeah.
people don't like change.
And I think I
True.
made you to see the back end of one shitty of Fancy and Clean, so you could see how easy it was.
Oh, as far as the manager goes?
Yeah.
Yeah.
And it's so user friendly.
Yeah.
And that's the biggest thing is you might be the commissioner and you'll help, when things need to be done, but you're just managing. You don't own the company, you don't own the store.
Yep.
You let you have your employees, they work, they earn. And same thing, you run your teams. You don't step in and it's like, no, you can't do that unless it's like blaringly
Yep.
something very bad.
So
Like Sneaks, go fuck himself. He's in Salem here somewhere. He can go suck a left nut.
Who?
He was the guy that we kicked out of the that left and kicked him out of the dynasty because I had to cover
yeah.
his dues. He never stupid.
Oh, he
Steelers
just
fan.
vanished completely?
Yeah, he stopped playing. Like
knew
he
he-
played up. He kept putting, and then like a couple weeks because he was doing great, he just left. And then like when I'm like, hey, you still haven't paid, he just disappeared.
Yeah, of course he did. Okay. All right, so is that it?
that's
Is
it.
that what we're talking about? Okay,
We'll
so
be back next week.
Yeah.
We'll talk fantasy or not fantasy. We'll talk football week 2, preseason week 2.
Yep.
And
Are
we doing a mock draft?
Might be doing a mock draft. I don't know. It depends on whether or not we can do it because that'll be a really good test for our live draft.
True.
I can help you set up this. Stream for
So
this for it.
follow me at Fantasy Unclean. Follow him at Hobbit's Revenge. Follow that guy down there at
FF
fucking
Mechanic.
gobbleballs.com
FF
or
Mechanic.
FF Mechanic at Twitter. Okay.
Yeah,
You know.
I think that's it.
that's it.
Yeah.
Thank you.
Thank you.
Amanda, if you want to know how to close a podcast, I guess I just ended it.